high school football tradition in Beaver County lives. High school football tradition in Beaver County lives right here on Beaver County Radio.
And it's complete to John Brogan at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
Snap is good. It is down. The kick is up and good.
He's got room. 10-5 touchdown! You better believe it.
Today's game coverage is being brought to you by Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Beaver County Career Technology Center, the Community College of Beaver County, Electric Garage Door Sales, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Tri-State Neuropathy, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fry Transportation, Keystone Wellness Programs, Drug Free Aliquippa, the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George, and the Lockwood Insurance Agency, among others. Now it's time to go into the broadcast booth as 2022 high school football comes your way on 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, Facebook Live, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
This is the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the official streaming partner of the WPIAL, featuring exclusive coverage of all playoffs and championships. Stretching across 10 counties, 2,000 broadcasts a year, live and forever archived. Trib, hssn.triblive.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Oak Hill Field here in New Brighton on this beautiful Friday night with John Parado. I'm Bob Barrickman, and our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show is just underway. And this is a special night. It's a Gold Star game. Families are being honored who lost loved ones in the line of duty, and they're being acknowledged. Rochester and New Brighton players both represented, and it's a nice touch, John, as we continue to realize how many people sacrifice their own lives to keep the freedom in this country alive.
And you're absolutely right, Bob, and it really hits home when you see the ceremony here lined up from goal line to goal line, New Brighton and Rochester players escorting the Gold Star families, and it like I said, it really, really hits home when it's people from your community, from Rochester, from New Brighton, and a very touching pregame ceremony here.
And the festivities continue leading up to a 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. Rochester and New Brighton. Two longtime rivals. They don't get to play each other every year. Last year they started off the season, John, and Rochester lost to New Brighton, or I should say they won. The Rams won 27-20, and now here they are again this year. Rochester playing its first game last Friday night, losing to Our Lady of Sacred Heart 16-8, and New Brighton under new coach Tony Keltori, they're going through some growing pains. Let's be honest about it. And you hope that at some point soon, maybe tonight, maybe in a week or two, that they start turning the corner. But this is a very young team. The Lions have 6 seniors, a new coach, Joe Greco, still the athletic director, but stepping aside after 24 total years leading this program.
Yeah, and, I think, we spoke with Tony Caltori last week on the Coach's Corner, and, he realizes he has to stress some patience here at New Brighton. They lost quite a few seniors from the team that went to the playoffs and upset an undefeated Washington team in the first round of the playoffs last year on the road. They only have a handful of starters back, only a handful of kids that really saw significant playing time in their varsity careers. So, it's back, not quite back to the drawing board, but certainly a lot of rebuilding, a lot of integrating a lot of new players into the lineup. And Bob, it showed so far they've been outscored 104-7 in their first 2 games. They lost 63-0 to Laurel, 41-7 to Hopewell. And, when we talked to Tony, obviously they want to win some games this year, and they still have plenty of games left. But right now it's more about trying to get better every week for New Brighton than worrying about the playoffs or the standings at this point.
Yeah, Laurel, the Spartans, a team that won the MAC last year in 2A, dipping down to 1A this year, and as you said, John, 63-7 in their first game. Last week to Hopewell, a team that struggled against Southside, it was 41-0. Hopewell snapping their 12-game losing streak overall, and now New Brighton has a Rochester team tonight that I think they can still contend very much in single A. I mean, they took Olsh down to the wire last year before losing 14-13, and that was the game to get them to, at that time, Heinz Field. And ironically, they opened their season with Olsh this year losing 16-8. I don't know if Gene Matzik would agree. He has 202 wins, so he doesn't have to settle for moral victories, but I'm sure he saw some bright spots against a team that did go to Heinz Field.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like you said, they only lost by a point to Olsh last year, and they were 2 of the best 4 teams in the Class A in the WPIL. And, you always want to win every game, but, it's not a shock, and it's certainly a surprise or not a black mark against Rochester. They lost to Olsh, as they are one of the best teams in the WPIL in their class again this year. Probably the one, I would think a bit concerning problem for Rochester was their pass defense in that game. Olsh threw for 235 yards in that game, and that's very un-Rochester-like over the years. You don't see too many teams move the ball on Rochester, and certainly don't pass for that kind of yardage against the Rams. So, that's something, I'm sure they worked on quite a bit in practice this week and looking to fix going into tonight's game.
Well, you have to consider, in all fairness, that Rochester did not play a game in week 0. Olsh already had a game under its belt. And a lot of coaches will tell you, John, you see the most improvement in a team from the first to the second week. And we're going to take this time out. We'll return to New Brighton on WBVP and 99.3 FM.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County.
Confidence happens here.
Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football here on Beaver County Radio, now entering our 75th year in broadcasting high school games. 2022 high school football coverage is being brought to you in part by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Laughlin Insurance Agency, Moon Township Auto, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Program, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Beaver County Career and Technical Institute, Tri-State Neuropathy, Drug Free Communities, and Beaver County Radio.
And we return to New Brighton's Oak Hill Field up on the hill in New Brighton as our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show continues here on WBVP 99.3 FM and from the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Now the game on WNBA tonight, Neshannock at Ambridge, and Ambridge coming off a win last week under second-year head coach Sherman McBride. Mike Azadian and Rob Matsey have the call of that game. Welcome, Rob, to the team at Beaver County Radio, and they're kicking off at 7. So the first week that both games are starting at 7 o'clock, John.
Yeah, how about that? We're synced up this week. Unfortunately, probably no bonus coverage for anyone tonight. Just one game, but that's okay. Yeah, an interesting game. The Neshannock comes down to Ambridge, makes the trip down from Lawrence County. And, Ambridge, they're making strides under Sherman McBride. There's no doubt. I mean, they got to the playoffs. They won a couple of games last year. They've played okay so far this year. And, that was a program. Sherman came in there. It needed a lot of work. Things had gone downhill at Ambridge for a variety of reasons. And Sherman's getting them, slowly back on track. And, this is a good test for them with Neshannock coming in tonight.
All right. And tonight we also want to let our listeners and viewers know that tonight's game is on Facebook. And we want to thank Curtis Walsh and his dad, Keith Walsh, for handling the controls and the camera. They do great work for us each and every Friday night here on Beaver County Radio. And Frank Sparks, our producer, you'll be hearing him tonight on the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show, along with Bruce Fry till 11. And then it's still WPIL Talk till midnight with Don Rebel and his crew from Trib Live. John, this is the last week that you're going to have mostly non-conference games. I know there are a couple conference matchups in 6A tonight, but you might say that the rehearsal is over. Yeah. Next week, the games count in the standings, and the coaches, they would love to see their teams ready to turn the corner come next week. And one that I'm thinking of especially is New Brighton and Tony Kiltori. They have a tough one on the road next week, and another game that many of you will hear on Beaver County Radio, New Brighton at Beaver Falls. But next week, they start playing for keeps for the most part.
They really do. And, of course, I mean, you want to win every game. You want to win the non-conference games, too. But if you lose these games, obviously it doesn't hurt your playoff hopes or things like that. So, yeah, I think it's about the right time. I think, after 3 weeks, or some teams 2 weeks, and most teams 3 weeks of playing games that count in the standings but don't count in the standings, if you know what I mean. I think everyone will probably be itching to get ready, and I think you'll see a lot of teams really, like you said, really gear up this week and try to really get on track and use that as a springboard in the conference play next weekend. Some
games of interest we touched on in the Shannick and Ambridge. Interesting non-conference game. Aliquippa, defending state champion, against a North Catholic club that took on Central Valley last year in the 3A final. It's a puzzle to figure out where Aliquippa games are going to be. Originally, it was going to be at Freedom, because Aliquippa's renovating Carl Ashman Stadium, but they decided to switch the game to North Catholic next year. North Catholic will be at Aliquippa. No matter where the venue is, could be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah, it should be. North Catholic, a good program, and we know Aliquippa's a great program, coming off a state title and very good year in and year out. It'll be a good test, especially on the road. They had to go all the way up to Armstrong last week, so they already had one long road trip, and this compared to that, North Catholic won't seem nearly as far away, and it's going to be tough for Aliquippa not to have a home game, because they certainly have a home field advantage at Ashman Stadium. I think we've seen a million games there, and we know how hard of a place it is for an opposing team. But I do think that they have the talent and they have the coach who won't make it an issue in Mike Warfield, and I believe they have the mental toughness that they'll be able to play on the road all year and still succeed. But again, it does add another obstacle for them in this season.
Hampton gets to host the team that's going for its 30th consecutive victory tonight. And I'm speaking of Central Valley. That's going to be a challenge for the Talbots. We saw Central Valley last week. For the most part, maybe a couple of hiccups along the way, but for the most part, they look like a team that's going to contend in 4A.
I would say so. I was very impressed by them last week. And like you said, they had a few hiccups, especially early in the game. But, boy, when they turned it on, that 37-22 final wasn't quite indicative of how much the Central Valley played, how well they played, and how they controlled the game. Hampton is supposed to be pretty decent this year, but I just don't think they're in Central Valley's class, and I would think Central Valley would win that game and rather handily.
And other games that will follow. Beaver Falls losing to Beaver last week. They're at Knock tonight. Mars at Blackhawk. The Cougars looking for their first win. Mars, big name now at coach, and Harry Kasparovich. Then you have Shenango at Riverside. Southside visits Burgettstown. Elwood City, well, they're renovating Helling Stadium, and it's going to be a beautiful stadium when it's all said and done. But they don't get the home game tonight. They go to Carlinton trying to snap a 27-game losing streak. We talked to Dan Bradley, their new head coach at the Coach's Corner, on Wednesday. Let's hope the Wolverines can get it done tonight.
They're making progress, certainly the first 2 weeks of the season under Dan Bradley, and it's not a surprise. Dan has won everywhere he's been. He's been to a number of different places, Avonworth, comes to mind Ambridge, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart up until the end of last season. And I think Elwood's I have a feeling they're going to end that streak tonight at Carlinton. They're playing better, and I think they're going to pull out a win in this game. I think the streak will finally be over for the Wolverines.
If this game was played last year, Mount Lebanon at Moon, there'd be a lot of talk about it. Mount Lebanon went undefeated, won the state championship. Moon got to the championship game in the WPIL and got squeaked by Penn Trafford. But these teams have been decimated by graduation.
Yeah, they both have been, and I saw Bobby Palco, not that it was a social occasion, but I saw him at Rich Niebala's viewing when Rich passed away, the former Western Beaver coach. earlier this year, and Bobby knew they were in for some rebuilding. Lost a lot of players off that team, and Moon lost all but one starter from that team that went to the WPIL championship. And that's hard to turn around the following season after you've had that much success and basically have to have an entirely new starting lineup.
And we're getting a visit by Mr. Bill Day, the CEO of St. Barnabas. I think he's going to join us in a little bit. Mark Peterson, who runs the show locally at WBVP and WMBA, and on this Gold Star night where they're honoring the families who have seen their loved ones deceased because of their dedicated military duty commitment. John, this is a game where you appreciate the ability to see players and fans enjoy the game. And then you have the Gold Star meaning on top of that, where if it wasn't for the people that they talked about in the pregame festivities, we may not be enjoying these kind of moments.
We might not be, and you're forever grateful to everybody who served their country over the years, from the Revolutionary War all the way up until the current conflicts in the Middle East and that. And it was, they did a really nice job. It was honestly a little more elaborate of a ceremony than I thought it was going to be, and it was really well rehearsed. It was really touching. Players from both Rochester and New Brighton taking part in it, escorting Gold Star families who had lost loved ones in line of duty in the military. And it was a very, very nice and touching ceremony, and then ended it with playing taps in the national anthem. And, kudos to everybody involved here, because that was certainly a very fitting tribute to people who certainly died as heroes.
We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we are winding down on our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show on a gorgeous night from Oak Hill Field in New Brighton, and we'll return on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
If you're an employer, what do you look for in a prospective new hire? A proven track record is usually the number one trait. For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating the workforce that has shaped Western Pennsylvania industry and service sector enterprises. It's the program with proven experience that employers know they can count on when they need to fill their workforce. Enroll your child or grandchild at the known quantity among educators and business leaders alike. Signing up through your local public school is easy and can give your student the ability, in many cases, to make more in certain fields than college graduates, all without any student loans. Free career training at Beaver County Career and Technology Center is the perfect choice. Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden-Neuerl-Quippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. And we wind down our Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show, and we're getting a visit from the CEO of St. Barnabas, William Day. Mr. Bill Day joining us on the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show. And Mr. Day, first of all, you brought the great weather here tonight. We appreciate that.
Anything I can do to help. Oh, that is. If it's weather good, I'll do it.
Mr. Day, the CEO of St. Barnabas, and you and your group purchased WBVP and WNBA.
Yes,
it's been like 9 months ago. Time flies.
That's about right.
Seems like it's been a smooth transition. Let's get your thoughts.
Well, I think so. Mark Peterson knows what he's doing. We like radio a lot. Always have. I used to work for BVP many moons ago. But I like radio. I like the people involved in radio. It's a way to get information so quickly. That's what I really like about it.
Well, Mr. Day, you bring up the name Chuck Wilson, and not too many people really appreciate what a legend he was, and he broadcasted games for over 25 years when the station opened for business in 1948. And for you to know Chuck as a friend and as a colleague, I know you have some fond memories of him.
Oh, I do. Waxy and I were good friends. And they called him Waxy because his afternoon show was called Wilson's Waxworks. But he's the talent that really got BVP going. And we had fun together personally as well as professionally. But Chuck Wilson was a great man, had great voice as well.
Oh, yes.
That always helped.
Mr. Day, I know WBVP and WNBA have had a commitment to covering local athletics, especially on the high school level in Geneva College for 75 years now.
They weren't sure that was going to continue.
And that's why I wanted to ask you. Obviously, we have an extensive schedule of games on the air this fall. Certainly, it seems that commitment is stronger than ever to the listeners here in Beaver County.
No, I said to Mark Peterson when we were coming here, this is Americana. And to me, that's what it is. And to see people having fun, kids playing football that probably won't play, at the next level, it doesn't make any difference. And there are parents and relatives, people enjoying. I think they're going to enjoy this ball game, and that's what we're about. And no, we didn't want that to go away. I love your question. We didn't, and we could do that. I mean, that's not as hard as it might seem. But no, we want as much local content, if I can put it that way, as we can.
Sure.
And we like it, and as you can tell, I'm a fan. That's why I'm here.
Well, it's great to see you here, Mr. Day. I don't know how many high school football games you get to, but I think you're seeing a rivalry tonight. Rochester, New Brighton, right across the bridge from one another. Right. And let's hope you see a good one, sir.
Well, either way we are. Now, yes, I'm rooting for one team over the other, but that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Whoever wins will be a winner with me.
Well, that's great. Mr. Day, maybe we can have a chance to catch up with you later.
But
Kickoff is coming up, and we appreciate the commitment that you and your staff have made to continue the great tradition, which is now 75 years.
That's a long time. No, we are committed to this, and you can imagine we've had some long conversation. What's the best thing to do? And I'm here tonight so you know what the best thing to do is.
Mr. Day,
Gentlemen,
always appreciate the visit.
I'm glad to do it.
Congratulations.
Good job tonight.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Keep your tubes going.
We'll do our best.
I know you will.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Mr. Bill Day, CEO of St. Barnabas and the primary owner of WBVP and WNBA. We're ready for kickoff. New Brighton will receive. Rochester in their road white with the blue trim. New Brighton in their crimson tops and bottoms and the gold helmets. And the kickoff is taken to the 31-yard line by number 31. And New Brighton will put the ball in play just outside the 30, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Lions. They'll start the junior quarterback, Brian Taylor Jr.
Yeah, that'll be a good field position for New Brighton, 30-yard line, pretty good starting point, not in the shadow of their own end zone. So a good chance for New Brighton to do something here early.
Tony Keltori looking for his first win, and a pump fake, and Taylor's going to go down. And there's going to be a marker at the end of the play. Getting the sack was Antonio Laurie, and he is a stud, John. His brother Sal was a 1,000-yard rusher. Antonio had a solid freshman year, and we're treated to quite a start. We'll see what this flag is all about.
Yeah, they're counting on Antonio to really step up in his second year of varsity ball, and he's shown, like you said, he had a very good freshman year, and he's shown even better here in the early part of this season.
Now we're getting a call from the official. Now, if it would go against New Brighton, surely Gene Matsuk, with his 202 wins, would decline unless it's a dead ball foul. And it's going to be a face mask penalty against Rochester. So an early break for the Crimson and Gold. So instead of the big sack by Laurie, they'll benefit, and they'll get to the 35-yard line, and it becomes first down and 5.
Yeah, an unintentional face mask, but a face mask nevertheless. But, it wasn't intentional, wasn't anything dirty, just happened to get his fingers caught in that mask.
Taylor in the shotgun. Pass over the middle, and it's caught, and it's a first down. Hauling it in for New Brighton was Trayvon Phillips, the senior tight end. So the Lions getting positive yardage, a pickup of 9, and a first down for New Brighton.
Yeah, real nice play for New Brighton. Nothing fancy, just a tight end right over the middle, and they put the ball right on the money there, Bob, and New Brighton's moving the ball almost to midfield here already.
Split to the near side, Kyler Rumbold, who we got to meet a week ago at the coach's corner. This time Taylor on the run, and he's going to be surrounded by white jerseys. Getting the initial hit for Rochester was Amory Curry. It'll be second down, call it no gain, and the line of scrimmage remains the 44-yard line.
Oh, the Rochester defense stiffened there, and you wonder, because Olsha now, granted Olsha has much more experienced quarterback and wide receiver than New Brighton does, but you wonder if New Brighton saw that last week, that Rochester did have some problems defending the pass, and see if they will throw the ball quite a bit here early to see if they can test the Rams.
Brian Taylor, first year as a starter. Gary Pugh was the quarterback for the last half of last season, but we understand he's not eligible until sometime in October, and this time the run play, and it might have lost a yard. So Laurie was in on the stop. Also assisting for the Rochester Rams was their all-conference lineman from a year ago, and Adam Scher. Let's call it third down and a long 10.
Yeah, it's very, very early in the game, but so far Rochester's run defense, New Brighton's not able to do anything against them. Rochester's winning the battle up front in the run game for sure.
Lions have 3 receivers split to the right. In the pistol formation goes Taylor. Taylor, quick drop, pass, and it's a little over the helmet. He tried to get the football into the hands of Dash Graham, but it'll be fourth down, and after that promising start, the Lions will have to punt it away.
Yeah, it was New Brighton couldn't take advantage of the break there. The sack got wiped out by the face mask penalty, I should say. And, for a young team like that, you try to hope maybe they build a little momentum and take advantage of that break. But they're going to punt, and now we'll see how their defense stacks up against the Rochester offense, which only generated 8 points against Olsh last week.
Laurie, the lone man back deep for New Brighton, to receive the boot. long count on 4th down. And that's going to be, looks like that's going to be a delay of game penalty. They took a lot of time unless they got a timeout called.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that, Bob. They were 4th and 10,
Yep.
so even if they did draw Rochester offside, it still would have been 4th and 5.
Yeah, I think they just kind of lost sight of the play clock.
I think so.
And it's 4th and 15, and the line of scrimmage is now the 39. Good snap, and the kick. It's low, it'll take a roll, and Laurie picks it up at the 30. Good tackle on special teams, getting to him early after about a 4-yard pickup. And for New Brighton, Michael Vion makes the stop, and the Rochester Rams have the ball for the first time. They'll start from their own 35-yard line, moving toward the scoreboard or toward Beaver Falls for those familiar with the surroundings.
Absolutely. You're like Google Maps, Bob.
Parker Lyons, a very fine quarterback, and the nephew of Central Valley head coach Mark Lyons, and this time hit hard. Looked like there was going to be a big gain, getting about 4 yards on the carry, and that was Duke Mullins. His name is Jerome, but he's affectionately known as Duke, and it's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
You know, Duke Mullins played a big role on that team last year. They got to the WPIL semifinals, a good receiver, an all-conference defensive back, and not surprised to see him get involved in the offense right from the very first play.
Lions with Laurie behind them, 2 receivers to the short side, and the pitch out will go to Mullins. Mullins turns the corner. He's got a first down and room to spare. Down inside the New Brighton 40-yard line. A big gain for Mullins on the jet sweep, and it's a first down Rochester.
Yeah, Rochester's left side of the line did a great job there. They really drove New Brighton off the ball and gave Mullins plenty of time to get to the line and be able to turn the corner and turn that into a very nice game.
So that gain, good for 22 yards by Duke Mullins. Rochester playing only its 2nd game of the year. This is New Brighton's 3rd contest. Lyons in the gun. He'll keep it himself. Lyons is hit hard. Might have gotten a couple, but a nice tackle off the left side by New Brighton. And looks like the one who made first contact for NB was Xander Reynolds. It'll be 2nd down, just a gain of 1.
Yeah, it was a nice defensive play by Reynolds there. He really read the option play well, stayed home, stayed in his lane, and held him to just a yard.
So it's 2nd down, Rochester, from the New Brighton 38-yard line. Inside of 9 minutes to go in quarter number 1. And now it looks like Rochester is going to call a timeout. And we'll break for a minute. Rochester moving the ball. We're scoreless in the Gold Star game on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
If you're an employer, what do you look for in a prospective new hire? A proven track record is usually the #1 trait. For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating the workforce that has shaped Western Pennsylvania industry and service sector enterprises. It's the program with proven experience that employers know they can count on when they need to fill their workforce. Enroll your child or grandchild at the known quantity among educators and business leaders alike. Signing up through your local public school is easy and can give your student the ability, in many cases, to make more in certain fields than college graduates, all without any student loans. Free career training at Beaver County Career and Technology Center is the perfect choice. Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
And dragging them down after a pickup, and it might have been a face mask. And Antonio Laurie, who got near the first down, and he'll surpass that first down marker on the grabbing of the face mask.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a pretty blatant one there. It was, especially if two officials were right there at the point of attack, at the point of the tackle. So, Rochester moving the ball well here, and New Brighton helps them out a little bit more, Bob, with the penalty here. And this is going to be a 15-yarder. We'll actually have to distance to the goal, so probably at the inside the 15. So, yeah, 15-yard penalty.
Well, we'll get to this in a moment after this play. Full house backfield behind Parker Lions. And this time, Laurie is stopped in the backfield for about a yard loss. John, we had a nice visit with the CEO of St. Barnabas and Beaver County Radio, Bill Day. Mr. Day said, I'm rooting for one team. And I guess that makes sense. He's a Rochester graduate.
Yeah. Makes total sense. Hopefully New Brighton wasn't listening at that moment. They all had walked away from the radios. People in New Brighton.
Our producer, Frank Sparks, he did his homework tonight. Wanted to make sure that we brought that out, that he's a Rochester grad. This time it's Laurie, and he's out of bounds at about the 6. It'll be third down, maybe inches if they didn't get the first down.
When I was involved with BVP, we used to spot. You're doing it without that. You're pretty good.
Well, thank you. I'm glad someone acknowledges that.
Bob, that's why you're a legend. You know you're a legend.
No, I wouldn't go that far. And it's first down and pushing the pile and into the end zone. And that would be Parker Lions, I believe, calling his own number, and it's 6-0 Rams.
It was. Just move the pile. It looked like a rugby scrum more than a football play there, but Rochester got good penetration, and the Lions just stayed behind the line and right into the end zone. And encouraging for Rochester and Coach Gene Matzuk, the Rams only scored one touchdown in their opener last week. And the first time they get the ball here, they put together a nice little drive and on the board already.
And they're going for 2. Lions in the gun. Pitches out right. Laurie turns the corner and gets it easily for the deuce. We'll take a minute timeout from Oak Hill. The score, Rochester 8, New Brighton nothing. Now this on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live Sports.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
Well, there was a block in the back, so New Brighton will try to deny Rochester the 2, pass into the end zone, and it's going to be broken up. Nice play by the Lions, and Kyler Rumbold, the senior, one of only 6 on the Lions team. So take the 2 points off the board. We'll now take a minute timeout. It's Rochester 6, New Brighton nothing on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Barras from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Renee from the Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allows us to do it, but what we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having Peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Call us at 724-774-123.
And we're back to Oak Hill, and the kickoff, a short one, and New Brighton will begin from its own 35. And John Parado, they're already scoring touchdowns at Mo Rubenstein. Ambridge got on the board first, but the Shanikas answered. It's 7-all on WNBA from the Fry Transportation Update
Well, it
Desk.
sounds like that's a good ball game, Bob.
Yeah.
Like we knew it should be a good ball game, and it is. Neshannock and Ambridge sounds like a fun game so far. Both teams moving up and down the field.
Taylor in the gun, and he hands it off, and this is going to go in the backfield. Kyler Rumbold will lose about 3 back to the 32, and that Ram defensive front has just dominated up front.
Yeah, they really have. It looks like New Brighton's best chance probably to move the ball, at least based off the 7 or 8 plays they've ran so far. Maybe a little more quick passing like they did over the middle to the tight end for a nice little gain there on the first possession. Little quick passes might be the best way to attack.
They line up 3 receivers to the left. This pass, and it's caught! What a catch! I wouldn't doubt that might be the play of the year for New Brighton, and hauling it in for the first down is Ryan Buffo, and it's a first down at the Rochester 49.
That was a heck of a catch, Bob. It really was. I mean, that was if you saw that catch in an NFL game, you would say that was a great catch. And looks like gives New Brighton a little momentum when the ball passed midfield.
Lions not taking any time for the huddle, but now we have a marker. And it's going to be a procedure call against the New Brighton Lions. So that'll put the ball back in New Brighton territory at the 46.
That's a tough one for the Lions there. They just had a positive yardage play, a really nice play, and now they back themselves up. But that's also part and parcel of a young team, Bob. You'll make those kind of mistakes. So, if an inexperienced team, and we'll see if they can overcome it here.
Brian Taylor Jr. in the pistol. And there's a loose ball. Taylor has to eat it. And he was fortunate to be able to pick it up. It was a low snap, but I think Taylor was trying to get back in passing position before he had possession, and that's another loss of about 5. And after the big catch by Boffo, now they're looking at, about 3rd down and 19.
And Rochester's line is just really taking over this game early, even though we're only halfway through the first quarter.
And now on the end around, and this isn't going to gain much, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. So New Brighton had some momentum there for a moment, but then the penalty, and nagging penalties can hurt the momentum, and it sure did there.
Oh, it absolutely did. New Brighton gave up the touchdown on their first defensive possession. Looked like they were going to answer, moving down the field, big catch, and now have to punt and get the ball back.
You know what? They're saying 3rd down. I really thought it was 4th.
I thought it was 4th, too.
Yeah, I know. Pass. It's caught. Now, this is not going to get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, but John and I are convinced that New Brighton got an extra down. They'll have 4th down and 13. And now, I would imagine, we'll see the punting unit for Tony Caltori.
Well, it's the non-conference season for the officials, too, and the guys working the sticks. So, accidents happen, mistakes happen sometimes, but Rochester not hurt by that as they've held New Brighton. It's 4th and 13, more than that. About 4th and 13, and they're going to have to punt a little field to try to gamble this early in the game and make a first down. But, one thing I wanted to say about Rochester's line, Bob, is they have everything you want. They have size, they have some quickness, and they're strong. You can tell their defensive linemen are very strong. They're really manhandling the young kids from New Brighton up front here.
Yeah, they're creating some holes for Antonio and Duke Mullins as a drive. Now, do we have a marker, or There's a discussion going on near the New Brighton bench. At the moment, it's 4th down and 13.
I see a flag saying that there's not a penalty here, but I did not see a flag anywhere on the field, so I'm not sure what we're having here, but it looks like...
Yeah, the punting unit is on the field.
Yes.
Isaac Kohlmeyer, the sophomore, will come in to do the booting. And this time it looks like Rochester is going to send Mullins back. High, short, but away from the coverage. Takes a nice New Brighton roll, and Rochester will be starting inside their own 20-yard line. So that was an effective boot by Isaac Kohlmeyer. Rochester with 4:38 to go in the first quarter, and the Rams lead at 6-0.
Well, this is the first time either team's had bad field position tonight. Rochester starting off inside its 20-yard line, and we'll see. They moved the ball very effectively the first time they had it, and they got to go longer this time, and we'll see how they move the ball in the New Brighton defense the second time around.
Line of scrimmage is the 19-yard line. Parker Lyons, who's had some injuries. He got hurt first game last year, never really did come back. This time, and it's Laurie and a good tackle by the Lions. They're playing fired up defense and getting in there first for the Lions defensively, and that was Tyrone King, a freshman for Tony Keltori.
When we talked about Rochester's linemen being big and strong, King not as big as some of the Rochester linemen, but boy, he showed his strength, shed a block, and showed his quickness by getting right to the ball carrier.
2nd down and about 12. Pass down the field for Mullins. He's got it. Mullins finally wrestled down inside the 30-yard line. And that's a huge gainer. Mullins got free, and Parker Lyons did not miss on the aerial.
And you can see right there why Rochester is so excited, Gene Matzook, to have Parker Lyons back after being injured in the opener last year. He can really throw that deep ball, and that was a really nice touch on that pass, right on the money to Mullins. You're not going to see a better pass at this level than that pass that Lyons just made.
From my math, 56 yards, and right up the gut, and getting loose is Laurie for the touchdown. And Rochester has added on to the lead. It's now 12-0. At Laurie, or was that Mullins?
I believe it was Laurie. I thought it was number 4.
Yeah, I think you're right, John.
Laurie, yes. A little hard to see. We're in the sun field here. The sun.
Thanks, John. I needed an excuse.
Well, it's a good excuse. It's a true excuse. It's not. We're not making that up.
So a 33-yard run by Laurie. Rochester, I don't believe they tried a kick this year. And rolling right, and a little lob at the end zone, and an easy catch for Laurie for the 2. And the Rochester Rams have increased their lead to 14 with 3:37 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a minute timeout. Rochester 14, New Brighton nothing on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
And we return to Oak Hill, short kickoff, and about a 10-yard return going out to the 41-yard line goes New Brighton. Looking ahead to next week, conference openers, Rochester will be taking on Summit Academy next Saturday afternoon at 12:30. And New Brighton goes to Beaver Falls. We'll see it here, and you'll hear it and view it on our Facebook page, 6:30 airtime in the battle for the jug.
Rochester taking a trip out to the country next week.
Yes. Oh, a loose football. Fortunately for the Lions, they got it back. The ball popped in the air.
He's in the backfield. If he has his heads up, he probably takes the ball off.
And that's going to be no gain as a result.
Yes, I don't know who he is either. He's no number 7 on the roster.
We'll have to work on that
Yeah,
one.
we'll have to find out.
Second down and 10.
What have we got here? Kevin Williams.
Oh, okay. Kevin Newman.
Kevin Newman?
Not the Pirate player, Kevin
Williams.
Williams, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Kevin Williams.
Yeah, Kevin Williams with the run. He changed his number, and he is now number 7.
There
want
we
to thank
go.
the Rochester guy up in the press box,
See?
one of the coaches.
Absolutely.
And now we got that straightened out.
And I can't hear. I thought he said Newman. He said Williams.
You have baseball on your mind all the time, John. This time to run in the backfield, trying to turn the corner, and they'll lose 5. That was Nizir Humphreys, the sophomore, just could not get around the edge. That Rochester speed took off.
Yeah, they really sealed that off, and there was nowhere for Humphreys to go. And a really great defensive play by Rochester there. They sniffed that out, and their guys really flew to the ball there and threw him for a 5-yard loss.
And we'll get you transportation scoreboard after this play. 3rd down and 15. Taylor running out of time, and he's going to be brought down. Coming from the blind side and getting the sack for Rochester. And that, I think, was Jeremiah Haskins. So it's 4th down and a bundle. Neshannock now has taken a 14-7 lead over Ambridge on WNBA with Rob Matsey and Mike Azadian.
Bob, you can tell the experience factor here between Rochester and New Brighton. Rochester has an experienced defense, experienced line. New Brighton starting a bunch of young guys, and right now it's a mismatch. Rochester doing pretty much where they want defensively.
And we have an official's time. Another score of interest. West Allegheny's taken a 14-0 lead over Ringgold at Joe Montana Stadium. Mount Lebanon leads Moon 7-0 first period. Seneca Valley and Cannon McMillan in a conference game in 6A deadlocked at 7-all. Well, there is a 5-yard penalty against Rochester, but makes little difference. The punting unit's still on. And Laurie is back deep. Low snap. They get it away. And angling away from the coverage. Takes a beautiful New Brighton roll of about 20 yards right at the end. So the Rams will have to start inside the 30 with 1:05 to go in the opening period.
Well, New Brighton's helped themselves out in the kicking game here. They've had a couple of nice punts and some fortunate rolls to make them nice punts. And, you know, that's one positive to draw on, and they're going to make Rochester have to go pretty far again on this drive. Rochester did last time, went 84 yards pretty quickly, so that proved to be no deterrent in the last possession from Rochester to have to start deep in their own territory.
Special teams have looked decent for New Brighton. The offense has done a couple good things, couple nice plays. Defensively, though, they're going to have to clamp down. They can ill afford another score here. Sideline pass, it goes to Mullins. Mullins breaks one tackle, but a marker is on the field. You'd have to believe it's a hold against the visitors from Rochester.
I think so. Either a hold or possibly a block in the back, but I'm pretty sure it's a hold. Although New Brighton's, a couple of their coaches have their palms upward, like, what are you talking about? So maybe it's on New Brighton. I don't know. The way they reacted initially, they seemed rather upset, a couple of the assistant coaches. We'll see what the call is here.
Well, now we're going to get the indication from the referee.
No, it is on
Rochester. It is on the Rams. So I don't know what the concern is unless it's where the hold was called. But nonetheless, though, big game, Aliquippa leading North Catholic 7-0. Frank Sparks doing a great job, as always, from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. And Southside has taken a 12-7 lead on the road at Burgettstown. And we're in the final minute of the first quarter here. Rochester leading 14-0. And right up the gut goes Laurie. Laurie, ample yardage and enough for a first down at the 41.
Yep, another flag down, though.
Oh, my.
At the 33-yard line. That's around the holding territory as well, Bob.
And this is going to cost Rochester. So penalties have figured into the equation. And you're right, John, it is a hold. So the Rams will have to work a little harder as the ball is going to go all the way back to the 23. They need the 39 to move the sticks.
Yeah, they're hurting themselves on this drive, but they've shown to be able to move the ball. So I don't know how much in the long run it's really going to hurt Rochester, because right now whatever they run seems to be a positive yardage and a lot of positive yardage on any play they run.
In the gun. And losing the football, diving for it. I think Lyons got back on it. He alertly dove for the football, but they do waste the down. It's going to bring up third down and long.
Now, Lyons went to fake a handoff to Laurie, and the ball slipped out of his hands. And fortunately for him, he was able to react quickly and dive on it. There were a couple of New Brighton players around it, and that would have been a big deal for New Brighton to get the ball that far into Rochester territory.
Well, John, they're not going to get the snap off. We'll see if I think it's third down, but they're still showing second down. We'll take a minute timeout. It's Rochester 14, New Brighton nothing. In the Gold Star game, honoring families who lost loved ones in military duty. We'll be back to Oak Hill after this minute timeout on 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, and Trib Live High School Sports.
If you're an employer, what do you look for in a prospective new hire? A proven track record is usually the #1 trait. For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating the workforce that has shaped Western Pennsylvania industry and service sector enterprises. It's the program with proven experience that employers know they can count on when they need to fill their workforce. Enroll your child or grandchild at the known quantity among educators and business leaders alike. Signing up through your local public school is easy and can give your student the ability, in many cases, to make more in certain fields than college graduates, all without any student loans. Free career training at Beaver County Career and Technology Center is the perfect choice. Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback?
Well, we'll call it second down and 16 for Rochester from their own 25. 12 minutes up on the board. Quarter number 2, Rams on top 14-0. And we have a timeout, New Brighton. So the Lions did like what they saw, and we'll step aside for another minute. It's Rochester leading 14-0 as we get ready to start the second on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County.
Confidence happens here.
Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
Throws it up the field. He's at the 39, and that's going to be very close to the first down. It looks like they're going to give it to him at the 40-yard line, and the Rams convert on 2nd and 16.
Yeah, that was quite a play by Lyons. I didn't think he was going to get away from the New Brighton defense, but he really turned on the Jets there, turned the corner, and turned what I thought was going to be a negative play into a first down. And that was impressive. And, at the end, he knocked the New Brighton player pretty far back as he ran out of bounds. He really showed his strength on top of his speed there.
And this time a loose football. The Lions say they got it. We'll see if the officials agree. And they do! New Brighton recovers the football. And I believe at the bottom of the pile with the recovery was Peyton Predco. So the Lions forced the first turnover of the game, and they'll start from the Rochester 42.
Well, Bob, New Brighton certainly needs something positive to happen, and maybe this is it, the little spark they need to try to get back in the game down 14-0 here early in the second quarter. We'll see what they plan to do. I'd like to see them try to throw a little bit more here.
And you're going to get your wish on the fly, and this ball is intercepted. So you got your wish, John, but played very well defensively by Dom Guido and the pick. One play after the fumble, and Rochester will take over around their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, so much for me calling the plays, huh, Bob? But that was great. That was a good play by Dom Guido, too. I was going to say it was not necessarily a bad play by New Brighton to try that. Dom Guido just with great coverage and then showing the good hands to make the interception.
First minute of the second quarter in this Gold Star game. Rochester leading 14-0. Parker Lions hoping to stay healthy this year. That would be a huge boost for the Rochester Rams. This time, first man through, getting a hole, and that's Laurie. Laurie drives, and he's got the first down. He wanted the stick, and he got it with a yard or two to spare.
He's really made a lot of good runs here after he struggled his first couple runs, didn't get a whole lot on a couple of carries. He's consistently moving the ball now, whether it's to the outside, and that was a nice inside run. Really got quite a bit of yardage, 11 yards on a play that usually would be designed to go for 3 or 4 yards.
On first down, the Rams will pick up about 6 more, maybe 7 to the 39. And that is Duke Mullins that time with the carry. And it'll be second down and 2 yards to go for Rochester.
This is a tough offense for a defensive coordinator to try to defend here with Rochester. And we have looks like a timeout here, so I'll carry my thought over to the commercial break, or are we staying right here?
With 10:35 to go in the half. you know what? We'll keep it right here. Another score. Frank Sparks really keeping things active at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Mars has scored a touchdown, good enough to take a 7-6 lead over Blackhawk. Ambridge and Neshannock deadlocked at 14 on WNBA. Aliquippa leading North Catholic 7-0. We have Southside 12, Burgettstown 7, and West Allegheny 14. Ringgold nothing, and Parado's Bucks lead St. Louis 1-0 in the third.
When they're ahead, they're my Bucks. When
they're
behind, they're your Bucks.
Well, they've been my Bucks for much more than yours then. This time on the draw play, trying to get there's a loose ball! Lions have it! And they're going to get a touchdown on the turnover! 40-yard run, and bringing it home is Kevin Williams. And Rochester has given up a score, and the Lions have made it interesting here at Oak Hill.
Well, we talked about New Brighton needing something positive to happen. They didn't cash in on the last turnover. This time they did, and all of a sudden we've got a ball game again, 14-6 with 10:25 to go in the second quarter. A nice play, nice scoop and score by Newman, and he took off and he turned on the Jets, and nobody from Rochester was going to catch him.
So thanks to defense, New Brighton causes the second turnover, and Williams takes it in for a 40-yard run, and they're going to try to kick it to get the lead down to 7. No, they're going to fake, and the holder pass in the end zone, it's knocked down. So they'll settle for 6. We'll take a minute timeout from Oak Hill, but the Lions get a defensive score. It's Rochester 14, New Brighton 6. Now this on WBVP and 99.3 FM.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's. Same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love, and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
And the short kickoff, and it's taken by Jaden Norman, and he gets it out to the 47-yard line, and that's where Rochester will put it in play, now leading 14-6, 10:18 left in the second quarter.
That was a nice return by Norman on a kick that really wasn't returnable, but he picked it up and he sprinted past a couple of the coverage guys from New Brighton, ended up getting the ball almost in midfield.
Rochester, full house backfield. Rolling right is Lions. Lions looks, passes, got a receiver. That is Laurie, I believe, and he gets it inside the 30-yard line of New Brighton. So right away, the Rams trying to answer that fumble recovery by Williams for the score, and they have a first down at the 30.
A nice play. You know, Bob, Rochester's offense has to be hard to defend right now because they're running the ball effectively inside and outside, and they got the passing game going. So what are you going to try to take away there, because they're doing pretty much everything they want to do. And the one deep ball they threw, they hit for a big gain.
And it's Laurie again finding a hole. Now he cuts it up the middle, and he gets down inside the 15-yard line.
Laurie looking really good, between him running up the middle and Mullins on two or three jet sweeps so far in the first half. And Rochester's line, you can't give it enough credit. They have 3 linemen back from last year. They thought it was going to be a strength of their team, and it has been really giving a really good push on these running plays and opening big holes for the Laurie to run through.
Down near the 10, still going to be 1st and 10. Lions on the keeper, and Lions gets down to about the 5.
Well, getting in here down close, why not play power football when your line's dominating? No sense trying to get fancy when you're inside the 10-yard line. So a nice forward push by Lions and got 5 yards out of a play that didn't know if he was going to get anything at first, but made a nice spin move and moved forward and got some yardage.
Full set behind Lions. He'll keep it, and he goes behind the pile, and he's in the end zone. So Lions gets his 2nd touchdown of the game. This one good from 2 yards out, and the Rams answer the Lions score, and it's 20-6.
Well, the only thing that's been able to stop Rochester so far are the 2 fumbles they've had. But other than that, they've really, on all 3 of their touchdown drives, Bob, they've been really impressive. A good mix of plays, inside, outside runs, jet sweeps, short passes, the deep ball that went for a big gain. And right now, the New Rochester offense is really looking in midseason form.
And Laurie will try to kick it. No, they'll fake. Rolling right and all alone. Well, there is a marker on the field, so this might be coming back.
I think his knee might have been down, Bob. I think. But I don't know that for certain. Let's see what the... No, it must be a penalty.
Yeah, there is a marker.
I thought they were picking the flag up, but they're not. No,
they're going to call it off.
Okay.
And they're going to say that they do get the 2. Did they?
I don't think. I think they're going to say that the knee was down.
Okay.
On the snap.
We'll go with 20-6. We'll take a minute timeout, and we'll be back after this break on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live Sports.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. By Barrickman, here for electric garage door sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200, and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com.
Should be on. It's getting a little dark. So Rochester will be kicking off, now leading 20-6.
Well, as they say in baseball, the lights have taken full effect.
Yes, they have. And bobbling it, now picking it up and getting swarmed at the 20-yard line. And making that play for the Rochester Rams is Austin Ely.
That was a really nice play. Got down there in a hurry, and New Brighton really couldn't get much positive yardage on.
And I think we have another marker on the field. Lots of laundry here tonight at Oak Hill.
In fact, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow morning. Lots of laundry.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
Getting caught up on the clothes.
Absolutely. Yeah, there has been quite a bit of penalties here, and that's something I think both teams will want to clean up going into conference play next week, because I'm not exactly being John Madden here when I say that penalties hurt you, And they both teams have had a number of penalties here, and it's really disrupted the continuity of the game, too. It's kind of been going in fits and starts all night, and it's just made for a little rough go here in the first quarter and a half.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a dead ball foul offside against Rochester, so I guess New Brighton has opted for a re-kick. All that, and now we're going to have a re-kick on WNBA. Neshannock breaks the tie. They lead 20-14 at Ambridge on 1460 and 95-7.
Bob, you never know who you might hear from during a broadcast. Dave Webb.
Oh, my goodness.
The pride of Freedom High School sends his best wishes to you via text. Dave Webb.
Best wishes to me.
Yes.
I don't know what I did to deserve best wishes, but thank you, Mr. Webb.
Well, I think because you're a legend, Bob, that's, Dave Webb's sort of a legend in his own way, too. In his own
that
way.
is a given.
You know, something you don't see very often is offsides on a kickoff anymore. Rarely is that called, so it must have been pretty egregious. I must admit I didn't see it, but apparently somebody must have been really offside to see that call made.
So now the Rams will kick it from the 35, and a wobbly one picked up at the 30, looking for some room and getting it out past the 40 and a hard hit, and a marker comes in. I don't know if that has anything to do with the hit. It looked clean to me, but we'll check the laundry. Once again, we're saying that word. And now we're going to get a declaration from the officials on this one as the Lions get the ball near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, there was a very, very brief scuffle there at the end of the play. I mean, like for a second, and it was broken up. I don't know if that's what the penalty's going to stem from or what here. It didn't look like a personal foul type thing, at least as far as the scuffling was concerned.
And the way this looks, this might, well, no, they're going to mark it off against Rochester. And that's going to give New Brighton the football at the Ram 45-yard line. And was it on the play, on the hit? We have to assume that.
Apparently, I know that the return man was not happy when he got up. He kind of had words with the Rochester tackler there, and they briefly just kind of half-shoved each other, and then the officials broke it up, and the players also did a good job of helping break it up.
Taylor, handoff, and there's a hole and a 5-yard pickup for New Brighton in the name of Kyler Rumbold. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for New Brighton.
You know, Tony Caltori told us on the Coach's Corner, not this past week, but the week before, that he wanted to use Kyler Rumbold in a lot of different ways this year. He wanted to split him out wide, have him in the slot, have him in backfield, maybe even have him line up a quarterback in some plays. We saw that versatility there from Rumbold.
2nd down and 5. This time tripped up right at the line of scrimmage is Rumbold, and that's Antonio Laurie, who's making an early bid for one of our CCBC Players of the Game awards that will pass out in our postgame tonight.
Yes, he certainly is. He's played a good game on both sides of the ball. He's effectively ran the ball, and he seems to be in on a lot of the centering of a lot of the tackles, a lot of the defensive stops that Rochester has made.
3rd down and 5, New Brighton. Pass over the middle, caught! What a nice reception by Rumbold! And it's a 1st down, New Brighton at the 28 of the Rochester Rams. Nice pattern run on the slant, and Brian Taylor looked mature on that throw, and they get the 1st down.
On the ball.
That's one play where they've seemed to have some success on the slants. Obviously, you can't run it every play. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try it a few more times until Rochester makes the adjustment.
Rochester will call a timeout. And that's their second. We'll take a minute break from Oak Hill. New Brighton driving. But the Rams lead at 20-6 on WBVP and 99.3 FM.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden or Aliquippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
And on first down, they try the fly pattern, the rumble, but good play by Mason Lucci to break it up. It's second down and 10, New Brighton from the Rochester 27. This time on the run, maybe a yard, and another kite in the air here at Oak Hill.
Seems like every other play there's a penalty, and it's hard for either offense to get much continuity here because of all the penalties. Let's see what this one is. It's like
it was a 1 yard pickup for New Brighton. And Gene Matsuk comes off onto the field and says, "What's going on here?" And not happy. And this is going to be a dead ball foul against Rochester. A blow to the head, apparently, and New Brighton will benefit. And the ball's going to go down to the Rochester 18.
apparently it was a late hit. They've not really been good on signaling some of the fouls that have been committed here tonight. So we're going to have to assume, loose ball.
Loose football, look out. Lions have it, but they'll lose a bunch on the play. In the meantime, from the Fry Transportation update desk, the late game at Beaver, Bobcats lead Freedom after one, 7-0. West Allegheny looking strong all over Ringgold, 35-0 in the second quarter. Laurel's taking a 13-0 lead over Mohawk. They decided they will be playing football after all after the hazing allegations kept Mohawk idle the first 2 weeks. This time the little short pass, Rumbold will get some of that back. Near the 15, they need to get down to the 5 to get the first down as we come to the midway point of the second quarter. Rochester leading 20-6.
I would say well-executed play, and the slants are working. They're not gaining a whole lot of yards, but Rochester's had a hard time defending those plays, and you wonder, again, as I've said earlier, maybe Brighton will try him a little bit more here. 3rd
down and 10. Pass into the end zone, and was it caught?
I believe.
Yes, it was. What a catch in the end zone. Hauling it in, and this has gotten interesting. Making the grab was Terry Vaughn Phillips. And New Brighton starting to mature right in front of our eyes, and it's 20-12.
Well, that's got to do wonders for a young team's confidence. I mean, the first touchdown came on a mistake by Rochester. New Brighton drove on this one, got a little help on penalties from Rochester, but a nice drive, a well-executed drive by the Lions.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good. And for a team that has been outscored 104-7 coming in. They're only down by 7. It's an interesting one. The Gold Star game continues. Inside of 6 minutes to go in the half. We'll take a minute timeout. Rochester 20, New Brighton 13 on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
And on the kickoff, it goes out of bounds at the 27. So Rochester has the option. I believe they could start from the 35 if they so desire. Or they can get a re-kick.
Yeah, it would be the 35.
It's going to be a
Or the
procedure
40.
call
Oh.
against New Brighton. And Rochester will make the Lions put it back on the tee. I thought it went out of bounds, but it turns out it was a procedure call offside on the kickoff for New Brighton. So they'll have to go back to the 35 and do it all over again.
Oh, I guess it's good practice for both kicking teams to have to keep kicking the ball over and over and over again, but it's causing for a rather choppy game as far as being a spectator.
Getting set to kick is Caden Povlinch. This time, another short one at the 34, and taking it, trying to get to the edge, and good return to about the 48-yard line, and that is Dom Guido, who has an interception to his credit tonight. And the Rams will start near midfield, leading by 7 with 5:28 to go in the half.
So Rochester starts off in good field position after all the maneuvering with the penalties and everything. And like you said, a very good return by Dom Guido all the way up to midfield. And Rochester has the short field to work and plenty of time to work with 5:28 left in the half.
Looked like Rochester was going to breeze early on, grabbing a quick 14-0 lead. But the Lions get a defensive touchdown, and now a offensive score, but Antonio Laurie comes right back and gets nearly 30 yards on the run. Maybe he does get 30. The line of scrimmage was the 49, and he'll get to the 20-yard line, give him a gain of 31.
Nice run by Laurie, and he's just following his blockers. They're opening big holes, and once he gets by the line of scrimmage, he's turning the Jets on, and he's really just having a really good game, just gashing the New Brighton defense pretty much every time he touches the ball.
Now behind center, working out of the eye, and another whistle. And we got a timeout, New Brighton. We'll take a 30-second break. 5 minutes to go in the half. Rochester on the move, and the Rams are on top, 20-13, here on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live. Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. So following the New Brighton timeout, Rams benefiting on a 31-yard run by Antonio Laurie, and they have the football down inside the 20-yard line of the New Brighton Lions. Two receivers to the right, and another whistle has blown, and a procedure call against the Rams. Aliquippa has gone to the locker room leading 14-0 over North Catholic.
You know, Bob, if we had $1 for every penalty yard here in the first half, we could probably retire.
Oh.
There's been so many penalties and so many penalty yardage. I understand trying to call everything, but, boy, this is really kind of put a damper on this game.
Does take you out of sync. This time a little pitch to the right side goes to Laurie. Short pickup. He gets down near the 15, maybe the 16. Well, I had to consider, though, that they got 5 yards marked off against them, so a little bit better run than I gave Laurie credit for. It's going to be 2nd down and 7.
One thing when Rochester has been penalized here, they haven't let it deter them at all. They just move the ball again, just have a little bit longer to go after the penalties, but they just keep going, and this offense has been tough for New Brighton to stop tonight other than the turnovers.
And the pitch out, and to the left side, and not much there. To the 15-yard line goes Jerome Duke Mullins, and Rumbold comes up to make the stop. It'll be 3rd down, and they're still going to need, maybe 6 for the first down.
It was a good play by the New Brighton defense there. They haven't had a whole lot because of the way Rochester's line has been handling New Brighton, but a good play to spread Mullins out and not let him turn the corner.
So on 3rd down and 6, inside handoff, not much there for Laurie. Got a yard or so it's going to bring up 4th down, and surely Rochester will go for it. 4th down, they're going to need about 4 to get the first down. If they don't get it, then New Brighton would have a chance late in the first half to try to get the tying touchdown.
Well, New Brighton's defense is stiffened. This is about the best they've looked here all night, these last 2 plays. They strung out the one play and then just stuffed the middle run here.
Lions lining up. This time the pitch will go to Laurie. Laurie looks for some room, and he's loose, and he's in for the score. And that will be a 12-yard run. Laurie saw nothing inside, juke to the outside, and the Rams have added on. They lead at 26-13.
He's so shifty, Bob. He can really cut. He can really move on a dime. And every time it looks like New Brighton's got an angle on him, he spins away or he cuts the other way. And New Brighton's, it's got to be frustrating because there's been a fefew times where it looked like they were going to get him for a little gain, and the next thing you know, he's off for 15 or 20 yards. And showed that again on that touchdown. Just a great move to get by the defender and beat everybody to the end zone.
And Laurie had a 31-yard run in that drive that set up his touchdown from 12 yards out. Now the Rams will go for it. Full house backfield. And a little fade pass into the end zone. And it is hauled in, I believe, by Mullins.
Yeah, it was just had a jump ball in the back of the corner, the back right corner of the end zone, and Mullins went up and he beat the defender for the ball, and it makes it 26-13.
Well,
Shockingly, the officials are huddling again here, so we'll see what's going on.
Well, if they would get the 2, it would be 28-13. Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Keith
Wow.
Walsh tells us that the ball was mishandled. So it will remain 26-13. Let's take a 30-second timeout. 3.5 to go in the half. It's Rochester 26, New Brighton 13 on WBVP and 99.3 FM.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Renee from the Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allows us to do it, but what we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Call us at 724-774-1230.
And the kickoff, New Brighton will start from their own 30. They have 3:22, now down by a baker's dozen.
We'll see if Rochester can build on their last drive where they, got a little help from Rochester penalties in, but also did a fairly good job of moving the ball really for the first time tonight, put together a sustained drive, and we'll see if that gives them a little confidence to do it again with 3:22 left.
And no gain on the play. We'll have Geneva tomorrow at 12:30 at Grove City. Actually, pregame will be a little bit later. The New Brighton Car Cruise will be on the air somewhere around 1:45. Bruce Fry and myself. And some news that we just got up in the press box, and I'll pass it along. And it's very disturbing news. And Brian Taylor with 2:42 to go in the half. And he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. John, we got a report from who I consider a very reliable source that former Geneva College football coach Gene Sullivan has passed away. And I'm only going forward with it because it seems like that is a reliable source. They confirmed it, and very disturbing news.
Yeah, I unfortunately got the bad news last night from a couple of Gene Sullivan's former players at Geneva contacted me. And Gene had been in declining health for a little while now, and my understanding is he passed peacefully with his family around him. And a wonderful, wonderful man.
Oh.
Not only a good coach, but a finest person. And I know people say this all the time when somebody passes away, but it really is true in this case. Gene is as good a gentleman, good a person as you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah, he was genuine. You don't find any finer. And he has the dubious distinction of winning back-to-back WPIL titles at that time, Richland High School. In '69, he did it against Joe Hamilton in New Brighton, and the following year against Pat Tarquinio in Beaver. You talk about 2 wins on your resume against the 2 winningest coaches in county history.
I know, it really is amazing. And then he became very close friends with Joe Hamilton. Gene lived in the Blackhawk School District for all the years he coached at Geneva, and him and Joe became good friends, and also he and Pat Tarquinio became friends over the years. So, it's just funny how it all worked out, beating, like you said, the 2 winningest coaches ever in Beaver County, and then ending up coaching at the only 4-year college in Beaver County at that time.
Rochester has stopped New Brighton. They'll take it over on downs. New Brighton has called a timeout, and the Rams will have the football at the 24-yard line. We'll take a 30-second break. It's 26-13. Rams leading the Lions on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Turn out to be an interception by Ryan Clark. So the Rams have a chance to add on to their lead. Lions, fly pattern, caught. And is that a touchdown? A marker comes in the air. Mullins got the ball. And no, I don't believe it's a touchdown, but it puts the Rams in great shape. And is it a touchdown? It most certainly is. They give them a touchdown, and Mullins on the catch. They take advantage of the New Brighton turnover, and the Rams now lead at 32-13.
Well, that was a really nice throw by Parker Lyons, and you can see why Rochester's excited that he's healthy this year. He broke his tibia, leg bone in the opener last year and missed the rest of the season. And, boy, he's put a couple balls right on the money tonight on plays like that.
So the Lions had gotten this deficit down to 7, and now it's up to 19.
You know, you can tell Lyons and Mullins have played together for a while, coming up through the ranks. They seem to have a really good connection. They seem to know Lyons knows exactly where Mullins is, and Mullins knows exactly where Lyons is going to put the ball.
And they will not.
Oh
my goodness.
I think it's out of the. He got it. Oh.
Out of the end zone. How he even got the ball off Parker Lyons is beyond me.
He just flung it. He was going down, and he just flung it as far as he could over his head, and he almost got a 2-point conversion out of it. That would have been a pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing play, even though it was an incompletion. But to have that presence of mind and then be able to, while you're going down, throw the ball that hard, just kind of shot put it toward the end zone. Pretty impressive by Parker Lyons there.
Well, we got good news from Bo Rubenstein. Ambridge with a late touchdown, leading Neshannock at the half, 21-20. We're talking about a quality opponent. Ambridge is really starting to turn the corner, John, under second-year head coach Sherman McBride. And another score that we have just gotten, Freeport leads Quaker Valley 42-0.
Wow. Yeah, you know, Sherman McBride, many years assistant at Aliquippa. A lot of people always said, why wouldn't he become a head coach? Why doesn't he go somewhere and be a head coach? He'd be such a good head coach. And Sherman's an Aliquippa guy, and he was really content to be an assistant coach at Aliquippa. But then the Ambridge job came up, and he thought it was a job he couldn't resist going across the river. And, you know, I think, Bob, you've known Sherman for a long time, and I've known Sherman for a long time. And I don't think anybody is surprised that he'll be successful at Ambridge. He's just a sharp guy, knows football, has the right personality, the right temperament to be a good head coach, and he's done a really good job so far at Ambridge.
Oh yeah, he's brought football back to relevance at Ambridge, that's for sure. Short kickoff from the 40, rumbled, tripped up as he gets to the 49 of the Lions. Still a minute 24 for New Brighton and 2 timeouts in their hip pocket.
Though I must say, considering, and I realize it's not the hot rivalry it once was between Aliquippa and Ambridge, it is a little jarring to see Sherman McBride in Ambridge gear. It just, it seems really, really odd to see him on the other side of that rivalry. But, of course, Frank Antonini made that move many years ago from Aliquippa to Ambridge and turned Ambridge's program around after making that move.
Well, it's funny how Don Yanessa went from Aliquippa to Ambridge with a stop at Baldwin in between, and now you have Sherman McBride, his first head coaching job, but he has worn so many hats through the years at Aliquippa, and now he's across the river, and they're going to be playing Aliquippa pretty soon. Could be a little more interesting. Now, of course, they still have another half to go, but you have to like the effort, leading a good Neshannock club by one at the break.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're getting better, and they'll continue to get better with Sherman running that program. And you know, I have no doubt, and I've always thought if he ever wanted to be a head coach, wherever it was, that he would be successful at it. And he is, and you know, he's brought some semblance of normalcy, I guess, for lack of a better term, back to Ambridge, and starting to show the one-loss record.
Sure has, no question about it. And they got a good one. Mike Azadian with Rob Batsey tonight on WNBA. Now New Brighton with 1:24 to go in the half. They have a first down at the Rochester 49. Taylor looks. Taylor trying to get out of congestion, and he's unable to. He'll lose about 6. As they're going to say, he was spotted at the 46-yard line. We'll give it a loss of 5. Second down, 1:05 and counting in this first half.
Yeah, good pursuit there by Rochester, and Taylor really couldn't do much of anything there except take the sack. So, New Brighton, I wonder now, it looks like there's not a whole lot of urgency to get plays off here. We're down to 47 seconds, and I'm kind of wondering if they're not going to be content just to take it into the half without giving Rochester the ball back on a turnover or something of that nature.
And in some trouble, and that is rumbled, though. Yeah, that was rumbled with the carry. Stopped at the 47. It's third down and 13. 18 seconds to go in the half. New Brighton taking a lot of time trying to get this play off before the buzzer.
I think they're going to just let the clock run out. They're showing no inclination to go up to the line of scrimmage. I guess they're just going to pack it in here and try to come back in the second half. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they'll have the ball first.
Yes. So we've reached the intermission here at Oak Hill Field in the Gold Star game tonight. And after getting to within 7, Rochester gets a couple touchdowns late, and the Rams will take a 32-13 lead into the locker room. And we'll be back with our halftime show. We'll recap the scoring. Also, we have queued up Dawn Rebel and Chris Harlan of Trib Live. We'll take this 2-minute timeout here on 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football here on Beaver County Radio, now entering our 75th year in broadcasting high school games. 2022 high school football coverage is being brought to you in part by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Laughlin Insurance Agency, Moon Township Auto, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Program, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Beaver County Career and Technical Institute, Tri-State Neuropathy, Drug-Free Communities, and Beaver County Radio.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hobble. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
And we return, and it's halftime here on the Rochester marching band on the field, and the Rams lead on the scoreboard over New Brighton 32-13 in a game that was really tight as the Lions got it down to a 20-13 football game. Let's recap the scoring. Parker Lyons called his own number. The quarterback scores on a 6-yard run 4 minutes into the first quarter, and they missed on the 2-point try. It was 6-0. And then Antonio Laurie scored on a 27-yard run. The cap an 81-yard drive. Duke Mullins had a 56-yard pass to aid that touchdown drive. And then they got the pass to Laurie for 2 to make it 14-0. But the Lions take advantage of a Ram miscue as Kevin Williams picks up a fumble, goes 40 yards for the touchdown. Just over a minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. They could not connect on the pass for the 2. It was 14-6. But Lions comes right back, scores on a 2-yard run, 9 minutes to go in a half, and they missed the extra point. It was 20-6. Then New Brighton got its lone offensive touchdown on a 15-yard pass to Trayvon Phillips. Midway through the second quarter, the kick was good. It was 20-13. But then Antonio Laurie, the sophomore, went to work. He had a 31-yard run, and then he had a 12-yard scamper with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the extra point, no good. It was 26-13. And then a pick by Ryan Clark gave Rochester the ball at the New Brighton 24, and they take it in for the touchdown on a 24-yard pass to Mullins, and they missed the 2-pointer. But John, Rochester leading here at the break in the Gold Star game, 32-13. I think we've seen New Brighton take some at least baby steps here at Oak Hill, but they allowed Rochester to open things back up, and that's why they're up by 19.
Yeah, they did. I think if New Brighton could get a defensive stop, and they just really, other than the turnover, the fumble return, they've had no answer for Rochester's offense. And, like we've talked about, Antonio Laurie has been really good with inside and outside runs, very shifty, very elusive. Parker Lyons, you can see why they're excited he's back. He got lost. He broke his leg in the opener last year, the year before. His sophomore year, he broke his wrist in the fourth game, and you can see why Rochester is so excited to have a healthy Parker Lyons, because he has a really good grasp of this offense. You can just tell the way he runs the team on the field. They get to the line. There's no confusion. They know what they want to do. And he puts the ball on the money when they pass, and he's shown he can run too. He's got some power and speed both as a running quarterback. And their offense has been really good. But I agree with you, getting back to your original point there. I do think New Brighton has taken some steps here tonight. There's no question. I mean, they got skunked pretty good in their first two games, 63-0 to Laurel and 41-7 to Hopewell. And, they've hung in there and, they've at least made a game of it. I mean, they certainly haven't been overwhelmed. Rochester's had the better of the play, but I think New Brighton has certainly looked better than maybe I thought they were going to look off their first two games.
We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Later on, we'll have scores to pass along to you from Frank Sparks at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. But after this short timeout, we'll send it to Dawn Rebel and Chris Harlan for our halftime show brought to you by Trib Live High School Sports Network. The score here, Rochester 32, New Brighton 13, and we'll be back with the Dawn Rebel and Chris Harlan halftime show on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live Sports.
If you're an employer, what do you look for in a prospective new hire? A proven track record is usually the number one trait. For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating the workforce that has shaped Western Pennsylvania industry and service sector enterprises. It's the program with proven experience that employers know they can count on when they need to fill their workforce. Enroll your child or grandchild at the known quantity among educators and business leaders alike. Signing up through your local public school is easy and can give your student the ability, in many cases, to make more in certain fields than college graduates, all without any student loans. Free career training at Beaver County Career and Technology Center is the perfect choice. Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
Welcome to the Week 2 edition of the Halftime Show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hope you're enjoying the game that you are checking out on Trib HSSN. It was a lot of fun last week. Usually until you get into conference games, it's sort of, the excitement of a new season, et cetera, et cetera. But you get your fair share of blowouts, and it brings you sort of crashing back to earth. Yeah. A lot of great games in Week 1. Hopefully the case going on here tonight in Week 2. And then by next week, most of the teams, not all of them, but most of the teams will be playing conference games. Those are the matchups that have a little more spark because they are the ones that will ultimately decide who makes it to the WPIAL playoffs and the march to the North Shore here on Trib HSSN. Well, we're going to continue our early season traditions. Chris Harlan, kind enough to join us. He did a great job setting the stage last week for some of the district teams to watch here in 2022. And even though this is Week 3 or for some Week 2, it's still early enough that we, want to learn more about some of the players to watch around the district. I think some of them have become pretty evident through the Week 1 of high school football, but there are some others that, I think we'll be talking a lot more about as the season goes on. It's a long list, Chris, and somehow, some way you have been able to sort of edit it.
Yeah, it's not easy to take all the guys in the WPL and try to boil it down to a short list for a halftime show, but I'll do my best. Let's start with the quarterbacks because two of last year's leading passers are off to really good starts this year. Brad Birch at Gateway, he looks poised to have a really big junior year. Already has more than 400 yards in his first two games. People might remember he led Jeanette to a WPL title as a freshman, now trying to do the same thing at Gateway. Gators are off to a 2-0 start. Right there with him is Caden Olson, quarterback at Armstrong. He's committed to Penn. Like Birch, passed for more than 2,500 yards last season. This year, he's already top 400 and has the Riverhawks hoping to contend in 4A. A couple other quarterbacks off to terrific starts this year. Peters Township, Chris Cibroni. Folks at Peters Township knew him as a wrestler who reached the WPL championships as a sophomore. But like a good wrestler, he really grabbed onto the job this year and just wouldn't let go. He's thrown for more than 500 yards in two games, had a 300-yard game last week against Seneca Valley. Tremendous start for him, but he's not the leading passer in the WPIL. That title right now belongs to Nehemiah Azim of Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. Already close to 700 yards after just 2 games, 400-yard game in week 0. That's a record-setting pace if he can keep that up. Some other names. Here's a name I think people are going to be hearing a lot this fall. Bell Vernon running back Quentin Martin. Penn State coach James Franklin flew in on a helicopter last week to see him play. He scored 3 touchdowns against Laurel Highlands. He's the biggest name among uncommitted recruits in the state right now, top recruit in the junior class. In that same game, Franklin got to see Laurel Highlands' Rodney Gallagher, a senior wide receiver committed to West Virginia. His reputation is all about his versatility. He showed it again last week. Week 1, he caught 4 touchdown passes. Week 2, they needed him under center, so he moved back to quarterback. But again, Rodney Gallagher is one of those guys you're going to see him, his name in the box score a lot this fall. Some other must-see guys who are worth going out to see this year. McKeesport senior running back Bobby Boyd. He's one of the top playmakers in WPIL. His playmaking ability makes them a real contender in 4A again this year.
Fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. We're not just about the big schools. How about a small school star in Leechburg senior Braylon Lovelace? He's committed to Pitt to play linebacker, but he's also one of the top running backs in the WPL and makes Leechburg a tough matchup any night. Another running back, a name the people recognize the last name, Brett Fitzsimmons. He's the younger brother of Sean Fitzsimmons, who's a lineman at Pitt, but he's the running back. He had 2 brothers that played the line. The younger brother's a running back and having a really good start to his career here as a senior, really good start to his year at Central Valley, already more than 300 yards, had a 200-yard game last week against Avonworth. A guy I saw last week, Cruz Brookins of Steel Valley. I went out and saw him in person against Stowe Rocks, scored 4 times. He's a Kent State commit to play defense, but, man, he's a really good running quarterback for Steel Valley. Steel Valley graduated one of the top running backs in the WPL, but they're back this year, and with him at quarterback, they've still got an elite running game. Can't forget about the linemen. Where would we be without them? There's a handful of them already. The seniors committed to Division I schools. Penn Trafford center Joe Enoch, Mount Lebanon tackle Kate Capristo, Steel Valley's Greg Smith. Those guys all headline a really good senior class of offensive linemen this year. On the defensive side, keep your eyes on Central Valley's Javen Thompson. Senior safety. A year ago, he had 11 interceptions for a Central Valley team that won its 2nd straight state title. He's back. In that same Parkway Conference, another defensive star, Aliquippa linebacker Cameron Lindsay. The junior's a major college recruit, played a big role a year ago when the Quips won WPL and state titles. With those guys, I'm really looking forward to that Aliquippa Central Valley game week 9. There's going to be so many guys on the field that I could name in this list who are going to be playing in that game. On the defensive side, a couple other names to watch. How about Central Catholic's Anthony Specca, probably the top linebacker in the WPL this year. Another guy, Chartiers Valley Lamont Payne, already committed to Penn State, but he's a guy who makes an impact on both sides of the ball, but definitely a really good cornerback, probably the best cornerback in the WPL this year. Another name that we've talked about a few times already this year, Conlon Green of Penn Trafford. He's a Temple recruit. His work on the defensive line was huge a year ago when Penn Trafford won WPL and state titles. This year he's got a new role playing quarterback for Penn Trafford. Already some big games, already 300 yards among one of his nights. And how about one more name we'll add to the list here? Last one, Harry Radcliffe. He's a kicker for Laurel Highlands. And he kicked a 53-yard field goal in week 1. 53 yards. That's only 2 yards short of the WPL record, which Josh Miller of East Allegheny kicked a 55-yarder back in 2002. There are a few kickers out there this year with really strong legs. I'm curious to see if any of them can take a run at that 20-year record this year.
And he did it without a T. I think that sort of adds to the lore of the impressive kick 2 weeks ago. Great job. You wind him up and you let him go, and boom, there he goes. Chris Harlan, great job. Players to watch. Now, next week, Chris and I will do a little digging for our topic. That's all we're going to tell you about that. You'll have to stay tuned for our Week 3 edition of the halftime show. A couple of names that Chris mentioned: Conlon Green of Penn Trafford, Cruz Brookins of Steel Valley, our Week 0, our Week 1 Trib HSSN Player of the Week. Who will be the Player of the Week for this week? Stay tuned. Find out. Check out the second half, and then check out HSSN over the weekend and into next week for all of that. For our producer, Chris Lackner, and Chris Harlan, I'm Don Rebel. Hope you enjoy the second half of the game you are checking out right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
All right, Don and Chris, thank you. As the New Brighton Marching Band entertaining us here at the half. Rochester leads at 32-13. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. Let's make it a 90-second timeout. We'll come back and give you loads of scores that Frank Sparks has diligently gotten for us from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. We'll deliver those after this break on WBVP 99.3 FM and Trib Live.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County. Confidence happens here. Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
All right, we return to Oak Hill Field. Both teams not back out on the field. We'll probably have a few minutes. Let's go over some scores. And Frank Sparks, great job. And Frank will be joined by Bruce Fry on the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up immediately following our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show. On WNBA, this has been a seesaw affair. In the third quarter now, Neshannock leading Ambridge 27-21 on WBVP, or I'm sorry, WNBA and 95.7 FM. Last scores we had, Aliquippa 14, North Catholic nothing at the half. Central Valley looks like it's going to get its 30th in a row, leading Hampton on the road 35-3. Beaver Falls and Knock. Longtime Tiger fans might recall that Larry Bruno's final game as a head coach came against Knock in the 1978 WPIL championship game. Knock had the better day of it then. Beaver Falls is dominating tonight, 28-0 over the Knock Knights at the half. They're now through 3 at Blackhawk. Mars leading the Cougars 7-6. Riverside in the third quarter leads Shenango 20-6. It was Southside 26, Burgettstown 14. Elwood City looks like you're going to snap that 27-game losing streak and give Dan Bradley his first win at the new school. They lead Carleton 35-6 in the third quarter. Mount Lebanon led Moon 17-0. Freeport all over Quaker Valley 42-0. No, we don't have an update on Union Cornell, but West Allegheny spanking Ringgold 49-7. They had one quarter in at Beaver, and it was 7-0 Bobcats. And the Pirates were leaning 4-1 over St. Louis in the 6th at PNC Park. And tomorrow, high school football, Hopewell at Western Beaver. That could be a first-time meeting between those two schools. 12:30, the kickoff. Clairton is at Olsh tomorrow night at 7. We'll have coverage of Geneva at Grove City. 12:30 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff. Bruce Fry joins me as Geneva will try to even things up on their record this year. John, some interesting scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk.
Yeah, the Shannon-Gambridge game, really a good one. Beaver Falls seems on track. You know, they had a good first half, a bad second half when we did their game in week 0 against Blackhawk. Then they lost to Beaver, but they seem to finally be avenging that loss from 44 years ago against Knock tonight, and that's a good sign for Beaver Falls to see them going. Quaker Valley having a little tough luck against Freeport there, and you know, it's good to see Elwood City on the right side of the score, and I would think they got a pretty good chance to end that losing streak up 35-6 in the third quarter. And, you know, that wears on you when you go multiple seasons without a victory. It's tough. It's tough for a program. It's tough to generate interest. It's tough for people in the town to see their hometown team lose week after week after week. So I think that would be huge for them to get in the win column, and it's obvious very early on in Dan Bradley's tenure at Elwood City that he's turning that ship in the right direction.
All right, yeah, good point. Looks like Elwood is going to snap a streak. Looks like Central Valley will extend their winning streak. And we'll have a lot more going on between now and midnight. Scores and conversation with you till 11, and then Dawn Rebel and a staff take over from 11 to mid. And we're going to take our final timeout. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in 90 seconds, where it's Rochester 32, New Brighton 13 on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
Got an update. Aliquippa now leading North Catholic 20-0 in the third. And still looking for an update on Beaver and Freedom with 7-0 Beaver. We're ready for the second half kickoff. And the Lions will be kicking.
after getting penalized. Shockingly, another penalty, but before any time ran off the clock in the second half. And, Bob, I must admit, I can never remember a game where there's been 3 penalties on the kicking team in the same game on kickoffs.
John, you've covered a lot of games. I won't argue. This time on the short kick and on the return up near the 45 for the Rams goes Jaden Norman. So Rochester starting the second half at their own 45, and they lead it 32-13.
Well, they're in really good shape in New Brighton, other than Rochester's own turnovers. New Brighton hasn't shown much ability to stop Rochester, and the Rams go down the field here, and they got a relatively short field at their 45. They can really start to put this game out of reach. Already up 32-13 here at the start of the third quarter.
So the Rams offense moving from left to right. And it goes to Laurie, and he is stopped in his tracks there. No gain. Second down and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times tonight that Laurie hasn't been able to put a pretty big dent into the New Brighton defense. They came up, closed the hole this time. Weren't able to. Rochester didn't knock them off the ball as much as they have been. And we already have a timeout here. 28 seconds into the second half.
Who took it, John?
Actually, there's a player down. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A little hard to tell from over on the other side of the field now. You can see a New Brighton player is down. Looks like cramps the way they're working on him, but hopefully that's all it is.
We're going to take a minute break. Good news on WNBA. Ambridge now leading the Shannick 28-27. Frank from the Fry update desk giving us that score. And we'll take this minute timeout. 32-13 Rochester on WBVP and 99.3.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale-Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
On the quarterback keeper, Parker Lyons takes it down to the 30-yard line. And that's a gain of 25. Lyons again calling his own number, and he'll get about 3. And the pile's still moving. And actually, he'll get a lot more than 3. That line holding their end, and Parker Lyons will get about 8 down to the 22.
He's a really interesting runner as a quarterback. He has very good speed, but he also runs like a fullback when he has to at times and kind of lowers his shoulder. You don't see many quarterbacks run with that style, but he's done that 3 or 4 times tonight where he's just kind of lowered his shoulder and moved the pile like you would think like a 6-foot, 220-pound fullback would do.
Full house backfield behind the quarterback. And the give goes to Laurie, and Laurie's got the first down to about the 18-yard line of New Brighton. We'll have New Brighton next week in the Little Brown Jug Battle at Reeves Field, 6:30 to pregame. Rochester will play on Saturday afternoon next week at 12:30 at Summit Academy. 10-10 to go in the third quarter. Rochester trying to add on to their 19-point lead. Full house backfield. And this time, the give goes to the Amory Curry, junior running back, good size, 6 feet 200. 9:47 to go in the quarter.
Boy,
Second down and, John, 4 to go.
He looks like he's even bigger than that. 6 foot 200, which is obviously a good size for a high school running back, but he looks like maybe he's an inch or two taller and a couple pounds heavier than what they're listing him on the roster.
Well, there's movement on the New Brighton defensive front. And if that goes against New Brighton, it would be a first down for the Rams. Unless they were drawn offside, that's going to be very close. Looks like it will be a first down for Rochester. And it is offside against New Brighton. That'll take the ball down to the 7-yard line. Goes to Laurie around the left end, and Laurie easily into the end zone for the touchdown. Laurie goes 6 yards for the score, and it's now a 38-13 Rochester lead.
Yeah, Rochester starting to put this one out of reach. Another really good drive, and they have put together quite a few of them tonight. Just getting big chunk plays, whether it's passing or a lot of runs for big chunks between Laurie and Lyons. Also having a couple of long runs tonight, the quarterback. And, they just keep piling up the yardage, and even when they had some penalty problems in the first half, didn't really seem to bother them. They would just make up the yardage. They got penalized and then some.
And they'll go for 2. And keep it at, boy, what a great play fake by Lyons. And he drew the whole Lion defense to the right. He goes to the left on the bootleg, and he takes it in, and it's 40-13. We'll take a minute timeout. Rams starting to roll on Beaver County Radio and Trib Live Sports.
Have you ever thought about where the football team would be without the quarterback? They probably wouldn't fare very well at all. Going through life with dental problems can be similar. That's because so much of what we do and how we interact and entertain with others is dependent upon good dental hygiene. If dental conditions have you sidelined, start by calling the right signals with dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip. Visit lipdentistry.com. Dr. C. Timothy Lip, your family dentist on College Hill and Robinson Township.
And we return to Oak Hill and the kickoff. New Brighton on the short kick and a good return, and the Lions will start from their own 48-yard line. They were down only 20-13, but the Rams have scored 20 unanswered since, and 9-11 remains in the third.
Well, New Brighton has good field position, which is good for them because they really need to score here, Bob, if they're going to get back in the game down 4 touchdowns. Even though there's still 9-11 left in the third quarter, they really need they need to do something positive here. This game's going to be on the verge of maybe being a blowout and even a run-the-clock game here in the second half.
Well, as New Brighton takes a timeout, the seesaw continues on WNBA with Rod Matsey, Mike Azadian, Neshannock now leading Ambridge 34-28. So I guess it's Ambridge's turn to score in that thriller going on. And Mars has upped its lead at Blackhawk. It's 14-6 Planets.
Is this game on television?
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that why all the excessive timeouts between each possession? It seems like it's like 5 minutes between possessions.
That's a good point.
I thought maybe this was a national TV game.
You know what? They got bills to pay.
They do. We all do, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It just seems like an inordinate amount of time after each possession.
Taylor hands it off to Rumbold. Rumbold will get a couple to midfield. It'll make it 2nd down and 8. And coming up to make the stop for the Rams is Ryan Clark, who had an interception that led to a Rochester touchdown. 8:50 left in the third quarter. Two receivers to the left, one to the right for the Lions. In the gun goes Taylor Jr. Has a sidecar to his left. And now the pass, it's incomplete, and a marker is on the field. And we'll address this one. We've had a lot to address tonight.
Yes, we have. I don't know what this one is. I'm going to be honest. I can't even really venture a guess. I was watching the incomplete pass, and the flag came. I don't know what happened. So we'll wait and see.
Procedure call against New Brighton, and they'll mark the 5 off against the Lions. That'll move the ball back to the New Brighton 45. 8:26 to go in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Williams, who has the New Brighton offensive touchdown tonight. No, actually, he has the defensive touchdown. Phillips scored on the 15-yard pass, and we have a Lions shaken up on the field. And on third down, we're going to pay some more bills. We'll break for a minute. Rochester 40, New Brighton 13. On Beaver County Radio and Trib Live.
If you're an employer, what do you look for in a prospective new hire? A proven track record is usually the #1 trait. For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating the workforce that has shaped Western Pennsylvania industry and service sector enterprises. It's the program with proven experience that employers know they can count on when they need to fill their workforce. Enroll your child or grandchild at the known quantity among educators and business leaders alike. Signing up through your local public school is easy and can give your student the ability, in many cases, to make more in certain fields than college graduates, all without any student loans. Free career training at Beaver County Career and Technology Center is the perfect choice. Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
Kevin Williams hobbling off the field, shaken up. I don't think it's anything to be that concerned about, but Taylor now in the gun and another flag on the field. And a procedure call against the Lions.
Yeah, Williams seems to keep having problems with cramping. He comes out of the game, then he seems to be okay. And, you know, it's a hot and humid night, and you start to think we're getting far enough into the season where heat and humidity shouldn't be a factor much longer, but it is quite a muggy night here on Oak Hill.
Boy, that sun really is bright in front of us. Didn't really go away until after kickoff. Now Taylor with the pass, and it's going to go incomplete, but there is a marker. They could get Rochester on the contact while the ball was in the air.
That's what I think it was, but we'll see.
Can't think of any other.
I think it. Maybe it's going on New Brighton here. It's bringing the ball back. It looks like they're calling offensive pass interference, and Rochester coaches up here weren't just wishful thinking. They knew because they called it. They said offensive pass interference, and looks like that is what happened. He pushed off. Yep. No, now it is.
They'll mark it off.
All
it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So that'll move the ball down to the 40-yard line. Handoff. Back to the line of scrimmage will be it. And Rumbold on the carry. 7:10 to go in the third quarter.
You know, you mentioned Kyler Rumbold. We had him on the coach's corner the week before last, or I should say last week. And, you know, he's one of the seniors, one of the few seniors on this team, and he takes the leadership seriously. And he said the thing they have to do is stay positive and stay together. And they're being challenged here the first 3 weeks of the season.
Taylor in trouble, and Taylor is going down. He was able to evade a tackle or two. The pressure was just too much, and another late marker on the field. Well, John, I know you. Let's see what it's just going to be a sideline warning. The Rochester coaches up here indicated that. They're correct. So no yardage marked off, but the play ended up in a negative spin for the New Brighton Lions. They're back at their own 47, and it's third down and quite a bit. Let's call it 22.
Long way to know. They need to hit a big pass here, and they really haven't hit a deep ball tonight. They're not going to throw.
And the run play off to the right side, and that goes to Nazir Humphreys, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, a little strange call, if I may second guess there on 3rd and 22. Need a large chunk of yardage, down by 4 touchdowns midway through the third quarter, but you know, apparently they didn't want to risk a turnover or what have you, and they decided to run, and now they're going to punt. And you know, Rochester has a chance if, you know, they can score here, and will be interesting to see if they go for 2. If they do score, to make it a 35-point game, in which then you would have the running clock for the rest of the evening.
First final win tonight, Riverside 27, Chenango 6. And that would be the first win for Coach Fran Ramsden in a second season.
You know, Riverside, a good history there. Like you said, had a rough year last year. Have had a few rough years, but you know, that's a school with a pretty good winning tradition there, and it'll be interesting to see what Fran Ramsden does over the long haul up there on the banks of Connequanescent Creek.
Rochester football at their own 44. 5:28 to go in the third. While Ambridge has scored a touchdown, missed the extra point, they're even at 34 on WNBA. What a game that is with Rob and Mike. And this time the pass out of the reach of Norman. And it'll be second down. A touchdown and a 2, and Rochester has not kicked. So a touchdown and a 2 would necessitate the mercy rule situation.
You know, I was talking there about New Brighton kind of rumbled and trying to keep the spirits up. It's a tough job right now for these kids, obviously. It's going to be 0-3, and that's a tough way to go.
And a nice run by Lions, hit at the end of the play, but gets about 8 yards to about the 48 of New Brighton. We'll call it third down and a long 2.
And that's when you really need your seniors, and they only have 6 of them. It's a young team, but really to try to keep things together and not let the whole season get away from you. Because, I mean, even though they're down 27 points, they have shown some positive signs tonight. They made a couple of big plays, and they certainly have played better in this game than they did in their first 2 games.
And doesn't get any easier. Next week they travel to Beaver Falls, this time on the run. And getting the call is, and that is Emery Curry showing some punch there, getting it down to the 40, and it's a first down with 4:20 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's a big, strong kid, and you can see why he can move that pile, which he did there.
We have an official's time. Well, now New Brighton, it looks like an injury. And maybe another cramp situation.
I know Rochester had problems with cramping last week, but this week seems like it's always been New Brighton when guys have had to be attended to. And I can't get the number on who it is this time. We know that Williams has had some cramping issues on and off throughout the game, and it's a difficult night. Like we were talking about earlier, it's warm and muggy, and it's hard to stay hydrated even if you try to drink a lot.
Michael Vion trotting off under his own power. 1st and 10 Rochester at the Lion 40, 4:15 to go in the third. Rams 40, Lions 13. Lions now with back split behind them. Sideline pass. There's some room for Mullins. Mullins looking to evade traffic, and he's able to get it down to the 22-yard line. A pickup of 18.
Nice play. Got their playmaker in open spaces there, and he was really able to turn what could have been just a couple-yard gain into an 18-yard game. Did a nice job of juking and faking some guys out of the way, and it was a really well-designed play, and I would want to do that every time, get Mullins in space and let him do his thing.
They got some weapons.
They do.
Laurie, Mullins, of course, Lions. This time on the run, getting loose, breaking a tackle, and I meant to say his name. Well, I'll say it a moment late. Emery Curry goes 22 for the touch, and it's 46-13.
Yeah, New Brighton just couldn't tackle him there. He's big and he's strong and he's getting good, getting good, or not protection, but getting good push from the line. And, it's just tough for New Brighton. They're just physically overmatched by this Rochester offensive line, and the same thing on the defensive line. And like you said a few minutes ago, 2-point conversion here and the clock's going to run.
And the Rams have been going for 2 all night. Parker Lions with a full house behind them. Goes to Laurie. Laurie takes it in, and the mercy rule clock will be in effect. Laurie scoots in for the deuce, and it's 48-13. 28 unanswered since the Lions cut it to a 7-point game in the second quarter. We'll take a minute timeout from Oak Hill on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County. Confidence happens here. Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation. Well, we got some good news in Carnegie. Elmwood City's 27-game losing streak comes to a close in a convincing fashion. They beat Carleton 46-6. Congratulations, Dan Bradley, your first win at your new school, and hopefully many more to come. And the short kickoff to the 20. And they get it out to about the 36-yard line. So Elwood's streak has come to an end, and it's gotten interesting at Chippewa. Blackhawk gets a touchdown, but they could not get to 2. It's 14-12 Mars, I believe, with a couple minutes left in that game.
Yeah. Blackhawk showing better this week. Look like they've, in the game, and hopefully, they can pull it out there, have at least enough time to get the ball back.
Taylor on the run, and getting the call was Nazir Humphreys, and he gets maybe a yard to the 39. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the third, it's a running clock, except for obvious timeouts, injuries, change of possession, kickoffs, but incomplete passes, the clock will continue to run. And there's nothing doing on second down. It'll be third down and 9.
Saying this over and over and over again, but Brighton's offensive line just can't get much push on that Rochester defensive line. And I thought maybe, Rochester has some big guys up front on a hot and humid night, might start to wear down a little bit here in the third quarter, but they're as strong as they were at the beginning of the game. And just New Brighton's unable to move them. And they're stuffing pretty much every play New Brighton runs, especially between the tackles.
Well, the Lions actually were in the game when they got that touchdown and midway through the second quarter to make it 20-13. But young teams make mistakes, and they caught up to them, and Rochester has rolled since. And we have a marker on the field. And this will go against Rochester, I guess.
Yeah, they're moving the ball forward here. Looks like a 5-yarder of some sort.
Well, that makes it third down and 4, and you wonder if maybe Tony Keltori might look at this as 4-down territory. Back to throw is Taylor. Taylor runs out of the pocket. He's got the first down at midfield. So the Lions continue, and as you can see, the mercy clock does not stop, even though he went out of bounds, as we're sitting right now on a 48-13 score.
I'm kind of ambivalent about the mercy rule, and I know it's been in effect a long, long time now, at least 30 years, maybe more. You hate to see a lopsided game and really get out of control, but you also would kind of like the integrity of the game to be played the full 48 minutes. And I've never been able to really come with a full opinion on this rule.
Yeah, I would say in my estimation, I'm thinking maybe 25 years, but you might be right, John. I mean, time does fly as New Brighton gets a couple yards off to the left side. It's going to bring up second down and about 7 in the final minute of this third quarter. Yeah, you know, I guess I have really little problem with the mercy rule, even though sometimes you try to shorten the game and not see a team get embarrassed. And they're going to say that's an incomplete pass. That was very close to being a backward pass.
Yeah, it was. It was real close. There was a real fine line there. And but it was indeed ruled a forward pass. And I do believe the officials got that right. He was probably a quarter of a step forward when the ball was thrown.
That'll do it for 3 quarters. Rochester looking to even their record at 1-1. New Brighton looks like it's going to be 0-3 when this is all through. After 3, Rochester 48, New Brighton 13. Let's break for a minute on 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, and Trib Live.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Renee from the Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allows us to do it, but what we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Call us at 724-774-1230.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden, Maricopa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
Ready to start the fourth quarter here at Oak Hill. Rochester has scored 28 uninterrupted points, leading New Brighton 48-13.
Whoops. The team's lined up on the wrong side of the field. Both of them did.
I was dazzled. Okay, New Brighton will move from left to right. And it's third down and 7.
It's like everyone's punch drunk at this point, it seems like.
Pass down the field, and just a tad overthrown. They tried to get the ball to Trayvon Phillips, who scored the New Brighton offensive touchdown.
You know, they've tried a couple of shots on longer passes, and they haven't missed by much. But on the flip side of things, you've got to give Rochester credit. They've been ready. The only passes they've given up much on are the short out patterns and the crossing patterns and slant patterns, I should say. But every time New Brighton throws deep, their secondary is right all over New Brighton's receivers. Their secondary has played a really good game.
Aliquippa now leading 26-0 over North Catholic. Ball down the field, and, well, there's going to be a push. I don't know if that's going to bring about a penalty. Nothing thrown. We've had enough flags tonight, and now a New Brighton player is injured. And we're going to take a minute timeout. 10:49 to go. Rochester 48, New Brighton 13 on Beaver County Radio.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
I just love my Tyler Mountain Waterman.
That's something I hear all the time. This is Stefan Sasek from Tri-State Waters. I'm the guy that is out and about delivering that Tyler Mountain 100% natural spring water. I'm everywhere from New Brighton to Old Economy. Tri-State Waters delivers, and I'm the one driving the truck. From Beaver to Raccoon Township, I'm the waterman they love, and the waterman that delivers. We even go to Poland, well, Ohio that is. If you need home or office delivery, call today and ask for Stefan, 724-774-4644.
So it's first out of 10 Rochester at their own 48-yard line. And breaking through and gone, touchdown, 52 yards for the Rams, and they add to their big lead.
Carter Mason, a sophomore, 5'8", 140. Boy, he went flying. He got the ball and got to down the sideline, and nobody from New Brighton came close to catching him, Bob. He just out-sprinted everyone.
Carter Mason, 5'8", sophomore, pads the lead. It's 54-13. It's hard to believe now that this game, just over the midway point of the second quarter, read 20-13. Rochester has scored 34 in a row, and they're going to try to kick it for the first time tonight. And they don't get the height nor the distance. And the score will stay at 54-13. In the meantime, on WNBA, they're even at 34 apiece with about a minute to go. I understand that the Shannick is driving, so could it be a field goal? Could that decide the game? We'll find out. And I get word from our good friend St. Jude that Blackhawk has gotten a field goal with 8 seconds to go to take a 15-14 lead over Mars.
Wow, that'd be a thrilling finish, no doubt. And a good win for Blackhawk, a team that needed a win, had a rough go of it in the opener against Beaver Falls for the first 3 quarters, then had a rough time at Highlands last Friday, and certainly the Cougars could use a win, use a little jolt of confidence going into the conference play next week in the Parkway Conference, which is always a very difficult schedule to navigate there.
Well, the not-so-good news, Neshannock does get a touchdown. I'm assuming they missed the extra point. It's 40-34 Neshannock, very late in that game on WNBA. What a game that has been tonight. And the short kick falling on the football with New Brighton at their own 47.
Yeah, I think Rochester trying some different things on special teams now. Obviously, kicking game not being one of their strengths. They've gone for 2 every time until after it became a mercy rule game, and I think they're giving some youngsters some chances to kick to show if they can remedy the problem there without having a kicker, which is not all that uncommon in a smaller school, 1A school, even a 2A schools. A lot of times just don't have that kicker on their roster that, you can certainly not a specialist for sure, and even someone who really can kick. And there's more time out on the field, Bob.
We'll take a 30-second break, 10:21 to go, 54-13 Rochester on Beaver County Radio.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale-Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys, those in the profession know, The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
4 into Rochester real estate at the 48-yard line.
A nice run by Humphreys there. A lot of second teamers in for both sides now, and Humphreys going to get a little more work. Of course, he'd been in the first team quite a bit tonight too, but going to stay on and see if he can get on track here a little bit. Only a sophomore, 5'71", looks like he could be a key part of this team at some point. He certainly has some talent.
There is an injured player on the far side. It is a Lion. Don't have a number.
Boy, it seems like there's been coming an inordinate number of New Brighton players that had to be attended to. And most of it, not being a doctor or a medic here, looks like cramping has been the issue. And you hope that it's all, because that's probably the fourth or fifth player it's been attended to tonight, Bob. And that's pretty tough in one game to have that many people go down with injuries, though in most cases they've been able to walk off under their own power in every case, and it looks like nothing has been serious.
Humphreys appears to be okay. Nothing to be concerned about there. And the Lions will have it 2nd down and 6. Another final win. Southside stays unbeaten, beating Burgettstown on the road 38-14. Handoff, good run, and getting a first down for the New Brighton Lions, and that call was given to Stephen Proya.
Well, a nice run there. Showed some good speed, hitting up in the hole and taking off and getting a good forward push down the field. And New Brighton maybe can punch one in here down to the Rochester 39. Maybe the second team can have a little something to celebrate here. Nah, maybe not.
And look out. Loose football. Lions recover, but a big loss of about 7.
You had two players, the quarterback and the tailback, colliding there on the handoff, and fortunately for New Brighton, no Rochester defender near the ball, and New Brighton was able to fall on it and keep possession here with 8:53 on a running clock.
Handoff goes, and nothing much there. Maybe a loss of 1. And that was Thomas Henry with the stop for Rochester. And it's 3rd down, and they're going to need about 18.
Be curious if they let the backup quarterback here, Dash Graham, air it out a little bit. Give him a chance to make a couple throws here in a varsity game to see what he can do.
Little sideline pass to Proya. Proya's going to be knocked down after a pickup of 1.
Well, they threw it. They didn't exactly air it out, but it's 4th and a long way to go. The Rochester defense sniffed that one out, and Proya just didn't have anywhere to go after making a nice run a couple of plays earlier, but that time didn't have much of a chance to do anything. The Rochester defense right there.
7:25 to go in regulation. Pass down the field and almost intercepted. The ball will be turnover on downs. Rochester gets it, and they can run a lot of time off this mercy rule clock here.
Yeah, they really can, and 7:12 to go. I would suspect the Rams aren't going to pass here. And that, well, it really doesn't matter for running clock. If they want to pass, it's not going to slow the game down. But I can't imagine up by 41. I think they'll just run some basic plays. But what we've seen tonight, Bob, is Rochester's basic plays have gone for a lot of big gains because of the execution by the line and the running back. And, again, I can't say enough about Parker Lyons and the way he just runs this offense. He's really a difference maker in that offense now that he's healthy again this year.
New quarterback in for Rochester, Desmond Ledford. And the give off the right side for about 4. Neshannock was leading Ambridge very late, 40-34, and we're looking for a final on that one. We'll see if Frank can get that to us. Touchdown late by Neshannock. $6:25 to go here. And around the right side, and maybe a yard or two short of the first down. 6 minutes to go in the football game.
You know, Tony Caltori, as he made clear to us on the coach's corner, knew what he was walking into, knew it was a rebuilding project, knew there were going to be some growing pains with him as the new coach after Joey Grieco was the coach here and now still the AD, 24 years as the head coach, 37 years total on the coaching staff at New Brighton. So obviously some transition here, and there's been bumpy in these first 3 games. New Brighton's given up 158 points in their first 3 games here. But, you know, Tony's a very knowledgeable coach. He's got a very good reputation. He was a coach at Central Valley for 8 years, an assistant. Also was an assistant at Blackhawk, Aliquippa, Western Beaver. He's coached under some good people. He played at Monaca, was a good player. And I have no doubt that he'll win here. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get the program on the track he wants it to be on.
Rams get the first down. We understand that Ambridge has the ball at the Neshannock 25, but it might be down to a play for the Bridgers.
So we shall see what happens. New Brighton, as you mentioned, is, as Tony told us, Gary Pugh, eligibility problems, won't be back until October. Had the big game in the last game in the regular season last year, threw for 200 yards in the game against Freedom with a playoff spot on the line. And you can't help but wonder if they had Gary Pugh, certainly that would make a difference here.
And a marker's on the field after a run play of about 2.
So, I mean, the Lions have had a lot against them. Youth, inexperience, missing some key players, and lots of cramping. Yet another player down for the Lions.
Well, we'll take a minute break. 4:18 to go. Rochester 54, New Brighton 13 on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football here on Beaver County Radio, now entering our 75th year in broadcasting high school games. 2022 high school football coverage is being brought to you in part by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Laughlin Insurance Agency, Moon Township Auto, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Program, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Beaver County Career and Technical Institute, Tri-State Neuropathy, Drug-Free Communities, and Beaver County Radio.
New Brighton players still on the field as we return with 4:19 to go. Still awaiting the final for Mo Rubenstein Stadium. What a game that's been on WNBA.
Yeah, it sounds like it was quite exciting, or is quite exciting. It's apparently not over quite yet in Ambridge. And, this game was close for a while. New Brighton got within a touchdown. It looked like it was going to be a ball game, but, give Rochester a lot of credit. They, once New Brighton put a little heat on them, got a little closer, Rochester just stiffened on defense, and their offense has just been a well-oiled machine, especially compared to last week when they only scored 8 points against Our Lady of the Sacred Heart in the first game. Gene Matzel, I would think, and I know Gene's an exacting coach and he wants things done right, but I've got to believe Gene is happy about the way his offense has performed tonight. Yeah. 54 points.
Going for win number 203. In his 23rd year. Won 2 state championships, his first 2 seasons at the helm. Won 4 WPIL titles, the last one in 2004. They got close to Heinz Field last year, losing by a point to Olsh at North Hills' Martirelli Stadium in the semis.
And the Rochester people, the staff members, the kids, the managers, things like that, wearing T-shirts on the back that says "Kick the Door Down," and that's in reference to kick the door down and get to the championship game this time after just missing last season. That's the goal for Rochester, and I'm certain they're hungry to get back to Acrashore Stadium, which I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, after coming so close last year, missing by a solitary point, that would give you pretty much motivation to try to do it again.
Isaac Kohlmeyer, the injured player, walking pretty much under his own power. It's now final. Great effort by Ambridge, but they come up 6 short. The Shannick wins it on WNBA 40-34, a shootout at the Mo. Well, even though Sherman McBride's been in this game long enough, where I don't think we got a face mask penalty against New Brighton. I don't know. He has to be encouraged with the team's play. I don't think moral victories really enter his thought process, but you have to like the effort against a very good Neshannock club.
You do, and they're certainly making strides. Again, you might be past, like you said, the point of moral victories in his second year there. But certainly you like to see the effort. You like to see competitive. If you're going to lose, at least be competitive. And certainly in their losses, Ambridge has been competitive. It hasn't been where they've been getting mercy ruled or anything like that.
Desmond Ledford in at quarterback. This time on the run and around the left end. And going in for the touchdown, Thomas Henry. 20-yard run by Henry. And he made that look pretty easily.
He really did. He got around the corner and see you later, and it's like nobody from New Brighton was even close to him on that play. It reminds me of the touchdown that Carter Mason had a little bit ago after the clock went into full run mode here in the mercy rule. And it's a little hard to believe if you watch this game if in the first half, you wouldn't have thought Rochester would have 60 points, but they do.
The kick was no good.
And GMAT's look, I'm sure there'll be people that just see the score with no context to go, oh, why did Rochester run it up on New Brighton? They're not running it up,
no.
Bob. I mean, they're running basic plays, and New Brighton just can't stop them. I mean, you can't tell the kids like they're running on the way to the end zone just like take a knee and fall down. I mean, they want their chance to play in a varsity game. They want their chance to get their name in the box score. And, again, I mean, they're doing everything sportsmanlike wise. It's just a mismatch. Rochester at this point is just much, much better than New Brighton. That gap will eventually close, but at this point in time where both programs are, it's a big difference between the two.
South Fayette edges Montour 20-19. Montour will be part of the WNBA coverage next Friday night at Montour as the Quips come into town. Aliquippa will try to stay undefeated. And Rochester, which once led by only 7, 20-13, midway through the second quarter, has scored 40 unanswered.
Bob, do you think Frank Morocco will be at the Aliquippa Montour game? I saw him at the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame. He looks great. Former Ambridge and Aliquippa coach and one of the great characters in Beaver County football history.
You better believe it. This time New Brighton has a chance and taking off and getting to about the 35-yard line. And a great return, and a markers on the field. Could be a late hit.
I think so. Yeah, they seemed to drive him out of bounds. I don't think it was a dirty play. I think Rochester's tackler just kind of lost sight of where he was and didn't realize that he was already out of bounds. And it looks like, unfortunately, there's an injury on the play that might have ran into the fence. It looks to me he's right up against the fence for New Brighton, the return man.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Dash Graham.
I believe it was the backup quarterback, yes, who had a nice little, shall we say, dash on that return.
There you go. That's a Bruce Fryism.
I'm doing my best to live up to that standard or live down to that standard. Not sure which, but anyway, 60-13, and yet another injury timeout, and you hope he's okay. Like I said, I didn't think it was an egregiously dirty hit by Rochester. I think the kid just got a little overzealous on the tackle, didn't realize where he was, and unfortunately, Dash Graham still being attended to on the sideline, and I'm pretty sure he's got the helmet off, and he's conscious and alert, but obviously got banged up pretty good, and I think that he got knocked into the chain link fence that separates the stands from the sidelines here at Oak Hill Field.
Aliquippa, big winner tonight, 26-0 at Stone Field against North Catholic. We have a holding call against Rochester. A lot of flags in this one tonight. 3:20 to go. Humphreys with the carry, breaks a tackle. Humphreys still on his feet, and Humphreys takes a couple Rams with him down inside the 10.
You know, Humphreys has looked good here in this fourth quarter, and granted, I realize it's a lot of second-teamers playing against each other now, but he's had a couple of nice runs, broke one to the outside, had a nice inside run here, and something, like you said, you're looking for any positives you can get if you're New Brighton right now, and that's certainly a positive here late in the game, the running of Nasir Humphreys.
Humphreys with the carry, gets inside the 5. Lions would like to at least go in the locker room with something to look back on heading into their showdown next week for the Little Brown Jug at Beaver Falls. A game you'll hear right here on WBVP 99.3.
Always a intense game when New Brighton and Beaver Falls play. A great rivalry, right across the river from each other. Little Brown Jug on the line.
And a sack in the backfield. They tried to go to the run, and it did not work. They'll lose about 3.
New Brighton on their third quarterback now, Jaden Salata, and I got the feeling he probably hasn't taken a lot of reps at quarterback because he's listed as a wide receiver on the roster, and I saw him split out wide a couple times earlier in the game. So you think this is kind of the emergency situation now where they're just having him take some snaps just to get through the end of this game.
Coming down on 2 minutes to go. Humphreys with the run, able to get by a tackler, and he'll be stopped at about the 12.
Well, Brighton's going to have a couple of chances here. Maybe punch one in. The penalty didn't up. Now we have a late flag thrown. Somebody, I think, said something on one of the teams. Would seem to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, and I see one of Rochester's players being called off the field by the coaching staff, and I got a feeling it's for a little reprimand for maybe saying a little too much after the play, a little too much trash talking.
Well, they still haven't addressed the foul. .139 to go. It's been a long one tonight in a game that hasn't been close for quite a while. Unsportsmanlike conduct, you're right, John, against Rochester.
Yeah, there was something. There was no physical altercation, but obviously somebody said something from Rochester that got the officials' attention because they threw the flag right away.
Ball down at the 7. Humphreys with the carry, and he's brought down in the backfield for a loss. And getting in there for Rochester was Carter Mason.
Bob, what time's the Geneva Grove City pregame? 12:30?
Yeah, well,
you think we'll bleed into this?
It just might. We'll be on the air about 1:15 tomorrow. We have coverage of the new Brighton car cruise coming up tomorrow. And so a little bit later of a Geneva start. But this time to run, they're going to get down to about the 5. The clock will continue to run. I think New Brighton can still stop at once if they so desire.
Can I take my Chevy cruise to the car cruise?
Oh, very much so.
Okay, there you go. I'll trick it all out tonight. I'll stay up all night.
There you go.
There you go. Absolutely. Big festive weekend in New Brighton. The Gold Star game tonight, the car cruise tomorrow. Makes me want to go to the Brighton hot dog shop, Bob, and get a dog or two.
Why not? They'll be open.
Absolutely.
Lions might get one more crack at it. We're down to 10 seconds. They're going to have to hurry, and they get it off, and they're not going to get there. Humphreys is drilled in the backfield by Thomas Henry. They don't get the touchdown at the end of the game, and the final score, Rochester 60, New Brighton 13. Our Electric Garage Door Sales postgame show coming up in a minute or so here on WBVP 99.3 and Trib Live Sports.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football here on Beaver County Radio, now entering our 75th year in broadcasting high school games. 2022 high school football coverage is being brought to you in part by Friendly Federal Credit Union, the Laughlin Insurance Agency, Moon Township Auto, Electric Garage Door Sales, Fry Transportation, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly, and George, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Community College of Beaver County, Keystone Wellness Program, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Beaver County Career and Technical Institute, Tri-State Neuropathy, Drug-Free Communities, and Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. By Barrickman, here for electric garage door sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200, and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorSales.com.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubble. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
And we return to Oak Hill Field. And it took Rochester a while to shake off the stubborn New Brighton Lions. It was only a 20-13 game midway through the second quarter after Trayvon Phillips scored on a 15-yard pass. That made it 20-13, but Rochester scored the final 40 points of the game. They had a touchdown run, 6 yards by Lions. Antonio Laurie, a 27-yard run. Kevin Williams, picked up a 40-yard fumble recovery and took it to the house to make it 14-6. Lions on a 2-yard run to extend it to 20-6. And then Phillips got the 15-yard catch, and people were excited here on Oak Hill. But Rochester put those hopes to rest quickly. Laurie on a 12-yard run to make it 26-13. Mullins, a 24-yard pass with a minute and a half to go in the half after a Ryan Clark interception. And that made it 32-13 at the break. Laurie scores on a 6-yard run. And then Curry, a 22-yard run for a score. Carter Mason gets in on the flow. A 52-yard scamper for a touchdown. And then Thomas Henry, with the final touchdown with 3:37 remaining. Final score, Rochester 60. New Brighton 13. Rams improved to 1-1. Lions dipped to 0-3, John.
Well, not much to say in summing this one up. Rochester clearly played a great game tonight. Like you said, when New Brighton did put a little pressure on them, got within a touchdown, Rochester turned it into overdrive. They were outstanding rushing the ball. They didn't throw the ball a whole lot, and when they did, they were good. And their defense, for the most part, held. New Brighton did have that one nice drive in the second quarter. But other than that, New Brighton really didn't move the ball in Rochester much. And just a very, very impressive performance by Rochester over a very young New Brighton team who at this stage of the season just not able to stay competitive with the team that has championship aspirations in Rochester.
All right. 60-13. When we come back, we might take a look at the final scores that we have and announce our CCBC players of the game as our Electric Garage door sales post game continues here on WBVP 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas and by Trib Live Sports.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door by Barrickman, here for electric garage door sales in Monaca. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers. Dial 724-774-3200, and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call, 724-774-3200, or find them online at electricgarageDoorsales.com.
There's no place like Community College of Beaver County. Confidence happens here. Connection happens here. Opportunity happens here. Your best you happens here. Your future happens here. Home is here. At CCBC, you're right where you need to be to find real learning for real life. And there's still time to join us. Enroll now through October 14th for fall mini-mesters. Same classes, less time. Visit ccbc.edu/fall. You belong here.
And returning one more time for our Electric Garage Door Sales post-game show by Barrington, John Corrado, Curtis and his dad Keith Walsh on the call as well. And John, let's introduce our CCBC players of the game.
Well, for Rochester, I think you could give it to a number of different players tonight, but I thought the real difference maker was the running of Antonio Laurie. He built off that freshman season. He's ready to really become a star here as a sophomore. Just ran the ball hard inside between the tackles, ran the ball well outside, caught a pass, and he played well on defense too, which kind of gets lost in a 60-13 game. So, to me, Antonio Laurie is my Rochester player of the game, and I know you agree. And for New Brighton, we're going to give it to Kevin Williams. He had the highlight of the night for New Brighton when he had the scoop and score on the 40-yard fumble return, which helped keep New Brighton in the game early. It gave them a little momentum when they didn't really have any momentum early. It gave them a lift, and it gave them something, hopefully they can build on from this loss. And so he's our player of the game, Kevin Williams.
All right, so Antonio Laurie and Kevin Williams will be invited to a future Coach's Corner. We do it every Wednesday from 7:05 to 8 o'clock. Our CCBC players of the game. Other finals, a thriller on WNBA with Rod Matsey and Mike Azadian, but Neshannock gets a late touchdown and holds off the Bridgers 40-34. Aliquippa shuts out North Catholic 26-0. Blackhawk with a late field goal beats Mars 15-14. First win for the Cougars. Riverside breaks into the win column with a 27-6 win over Shenango. Southside all over Burgettstown 38-14. Elwood City snaps their 27-game losing streak. It was 46-6. Those are the finals that we have. But Frank Sparks and Bruce Fry will have a lot more finals and conversation with you till 11. And John, for a final comment.
Well, I've kind of beaten a dead horse here, but Rochester, awfully impressive. I know they lost to Our Lady of the Sacred Heart last week, 16-8, but certainly turned things around the week two. The offense was outstanding. The defense was impenetrable for the most part, and they overmatched New Brighton. A really good win to Rochester to get into the W column for the first time this season. But there were a few things New Brighton did well, especially in the first half. It really got away from them after halftime, that they can at least build on as a team that has obviously struggled very mightily here in the first 3 weeks of the season with a new coach and a lot of new starting players at positions throughout both sides of the ball.
All right, that'll do it. New Brighton hung in there for a while. They were down by 7 midway through the second quarter. But Rochester dominated since, scoring 40 unanswered points. Final score, it was Rochester 60, New Brighton 13 on WNBA, Neshannock 40, Ambridge 34. That'll do it for us. After this brief timeout, it'll be Frank Sparks and Bruce Fry to take your phone calls, and they'll go over the scores as well. 11, Don Rebel and his staff will wrap it up from 11 to midnight here on Beaver County Radio. Rochester, a 60-13 win over New Brighton, and you heard it here on 1230 WBVP, 99.3 FM, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Thank you for tuning into coverage of 2022 high school football on Beaver County Radio and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. After tonight's game, head to beavercountyradio.com for all the latest scores from across the Beaver Valley. And make sure you keep your dial set to the goal line for action all season long. On 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.